Hello viewers, I am RxOliver, these are my friends, and tonight we are playing Coriolis the Great Dark. This is session 3. I'm here with the whole crew tonight. We have Max, Brian, David, Dave, and Brian. So without any further ado, I will hand you over to our Games Master for the evening. Brian, take it away, sir.
Okay. Like always, we'll start with a short vignette, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty. The haze, the dark stain to the chasm's brilliance, the polar opposite of the beacon of Astrolab Tower, a tight warren of shops and squats cobbled together from rusting ship panels and scavenged or stolen tech. The streets are littered with piled rubbish and detritus seemingly discarded from high above. And the people here are quiet. Quiet, wary, and dangerous. The ground trembles, the thump of the engines of Ship City just a few levels below. It's a beating heart, persistent thud you can feel in your bones. The rhythm is constant, measured, usually. The air hisses, the constant sputtering of steam and gas from the turbine halls. The breath of Ship City, the life of her inhabitants. The release is steady, full of oxygen and purged of toxins. Mostly. The light from Jamua above is thin, diluted. The haze, a blood-colored mist that mutes everything out of arm's reach, casting shadows that mimic the darkness between the stars. Disorienting, tricks of the eye. Hopefully. Ship City is dying, and the necrosis is tangible here, down in the dark. But there is hope, and at least it's not Corrosion Bay. So, last session, we were down a man. Welcome back, Dave. And our troops, as it were, dealt with a bit of a fisticuff situation up on the 5th ring after exploring the unfortunately deceased explorer's apartment, finding some clues. They dealt with the thugs that apparently were sent to accost them with relative ease. There were some welts taken on our side, but mostly you overcame the difficulty. And even spoke to one who indicated that they were contacted by someone who had given them a Zapti communicator, the Zapti, of course, being the police force of the guild. Or guilds, I should say. You let that person go, and a couple of others after Rico decided to steal most of one of their money. That's fine. They lost the fight.
They didn't have much. It was a couple.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was some other things that occurred. Let's see. Ozil decided to investigate the strange spider web that you found in Najar's apartment, and discovered it to be natural, but of the blight, which is a concern, as there is to be no blight on Ship City. It's the web itself does not currently emanate blight, but it is from some kind of blighted creature, is what was decided. While Ozil was doing that, the rest of the group decided to go sell the Zapti communicator and made a few ruck there. And then in the morning, it was decided to go, in the morning while Ozil slept, because he didn't sleep all night because he was doing his research and pulled an all-nighter. But it was decided that they were going to go speak to Master Muska and kind of get some idea of what direction to go in. And she gave you a couple of suggestions. She noted the blue feather that you had recovered and said that if anyone would be able to tell you more about the feather and the bird that it came from, as it was obviously a Garuda feather, someone in the bird market likely would be able to help you. In addition, she indicated that the numbers on the hand-drawn sketch of the tablet indicated that, well, is most likely a reference number for the old archive, which is down in the haze. And so, minus Osric, although at the time Osric was kind of recovering because he did take a bit of a beating, they decided to head down into the haze and take a look at the old archive. While riding the lift down into the haze, I believe Edris had a bit of an issue. Out of nowhere, a small, kind of biomechanical looking spider bit Edris and paralyzed him. And started to scurry away. And Garita actually captured it, caught it, and got a bit of a look at it, but just a bit, because then it exploded in her face and dealt some damage to her and blight, actually, to her and everyone else nearby. Thankfully, they weren't near any of the civilians on the lift at the time. So when we left off, our party was exiting the lift into the haze. I believe I told you, and this is true, I don't make things up, that the entrance to the old archive is really just a short walk from the lift. Like, it's kind of right there. And that's known, so like you knew what you were getting into. But yeah, that's about it. Does anybody have any questions? Do we want to jump right in?
The one thing you didn't mention there was the spider. The actual spider.
I did mention the spider.
Oh, you did?
No, he did.
Sorry,
Yeah, he did.
I was distracted then. Yeah, my bad.
No worries. Yeah, it's like a biomechanical spider that exploded when Garita caught it.
Oh
Dealt
yeah,
some
it was
damage.
the spider that exploded, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like a rare tech, like a heirloom thing or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was heirloom tech.
Yeah,
apparently,
correct.
yeah.
It's an heirloom tech. Yeah. But heirloom tech that had been corrupted apparently by the blight. And I think the assumption was made that the spider that you saw is probably the same spider or a similar spider to the one that left the web in Najar's apartment, right?
Yeah, definitely. And someone took blight damage when it exploded, didn't they?
Uh-huh.
I think Edris, was it?
I think Edris and possibly Garuda?
Oh, Garuda got it. Right in the face.
I got
Yeah.
I got it as well.
So, again, having a little bit of blight damage or having your heart reduced, not really a huge deal until it hits 0, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to deal with a blight manifestation. But for right now, it recovers just like your health does. It's not something you can recover with, like, first aid. But there are decontamination kits. I don't know if any of you have one, but there are decontamination kits you can buy to use to deal with blight.
Those might be worth investing in.
Yeah, I might grab that if we ever go. That might be a good idea.
Because
especially if you go into a delve.
I think the delve
yeah.
we talked about. I think it's if we go into a delve, that's when
one of the main rules of Ship City is there is to be no blight in Ship City. So does that mean, Brian, if one of us is infected with blight, we are a walking criminal?
So it's a problem. I don't know that you're necessarily a criminal. The edict is that you are not to bring the blight onto Ship City. If you'll recall, if you do bring blight onto Ship City, let's see, what does it say? Those who bring any forms of blight to Ship City risk the future of all and will be sentenced to ejection. into the vacuum of space.
Which is death.
Appeals for mercy are not permitted.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't bring it. You've just been affected by it. Now, it's up to you whether or not you report that or you mention that to anyone else. Like I said, none of the bystanders were affected by it. There's no visual representation of it aside from a small explosion, which could just be a small explosion. You know, people were kind of weirded out by that and promptly left the lift as soon as it hit the ground in the haze. But yeah, any other questions before I take you to where we were?
Am I fully recovered from my paralysis episode? I think.
Yes. Yeah, so your paralysis only lasted a stretch.
Yeah.
And so by the time the lift got to the bottom, maybe you're still a little stiff.
Yeah.
But your companions are able to help you off the lift.
Yeah.
And
I can
out
drag him
into
off.
the
I
haze.
just grab him by the scruff of his neck and drag him off.
I mean, he can walk a bit.
Yeah, he can walk himself.
That's why I grab him by the scruff. It's like a kid. You're like,
Would I be correct in thinking that Asher's talent for clearing blight unfortunately does not extend to clearing blight from people who've been infected?
Good question.
I haven't looked at Ashes for a hot second, so let's take a look and see what that ability says.
That'd be a good idea.
You can clear all blight from one zone.
Oh, from one zone. Yeah, so no, that's more for like making a zone safe. It doesn't affect individuals.
If we're in a delve again, if there's
unfortunate
loads of light knocking about.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I shall have to research whether whether Ashes can acquire curing blight.
There may be. I haven't looked at all the bird powers yet, so that may be in there for sure.
There's soak blight.
Okay, so let me.
Blight surge. It's not that though, is it?
No, blight surge is a different thing. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull you guys outside of the archive.
So, am I still back at the shuttle?
Well, I was going to ask you about that because my intention was to have you basically take another path. You knew where they were going. They maybe left a message for you, or maybe you're still awake when they left. So you can join them if you choose. You just took a different route.
Very good.
Okay, so in that case,
I got one quick, more mechanical question.
Sure.
Did we were allowed to pick up a trait if we had the experience?
No. Keep in mind, in order to increase a trait that you already have, you're going to need a full shift to train it. Okay. And in order to learn a new trait, you're going to have to take a full day to find someone to train you.
Do you mean talent?
And gain that from talent.
Talent. Just making sure we're still on the right page because you said a different word. I was like, oh no, I don't know what trait is.
So yeah, no, it's something that's going to take a little time, and we're kind of in the middle of something right now. But after you guys deal with this, if we then want to talk about putting some time aside so that everybody can do that, I have no problem with it. I just wanted you to look at talents in between sessions to see if you had some ideas.
I already know what I want.
Yeah,
so
I've got a couple that I like, and I've got enough experience to get one. So yeah, definitely going to do that soon.
Oh, I got a list.
Oh yeah, no, we discussed about that. There's some good talents.
Oh yeah.
Now, another quick mechanical thing I'm going to point out to you guys before we start getting into the role play. If you right-click on your token, there is now a little circle button beneath the settings button that says toggle combat distances. Nobody else will see that but you. But what that now gives you is a range that you can shoot and move. So the first space is if you're in a cramped situation, and I will tell you that for movement. The second out to orange is if you're impaired in movement, so like difficult terrain. Then out to green is short range, which is your normal movement rate as long as you're not cramped or impaired. and also short range for weapons. And then if you pull out more, there is a yellow ring quite far past that called medium range, which is
and then there's even a bigger one.
50 meters.
Yep.
And then even farther out from that at 100 meters, which will probably not come into play unless we're on a map that's very large, which may happen someday, is your long range for weapons, right?
Meters or feet?
They are meters. I know it registers them as feet, but that's a limitation of the module.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understood.
So I do have it all set to feet, and essentially 1 square is 1 meter on the maps that I'm making. So
Okay.
now you can then turn that off again by toggling the same thing.
Another awesome
and it goes
piece of
away.
Automation, Brian. Well done. Yeah, it's very
I'll
cool.
figure that out. Like I didn't remember I didn't see where it was.
You right click your token, and it's a symbol is it's the bottom left symbol.
It's a little circle, lower left.
The circle at the lower left, yeah.
Okay, I was like, I click token. I was like, okay.
It's worth checking out. It's a thing of beauty.
So that way, when you click to move your character, you don't have to worry about drag distances or anything. You just stay within the ring that you have access to, which normally is short range, the green ring. Okay, so as you guys exit the lift, you see, pretty much immediately, because he does stand out, Osric, standing next to the massive outgassing structure that is connected to the lower halls and the engines and the turbine halls that is currently putting out this haze that the portion of Ship City you're in is known for. Yeah, so he's there with Ashes, and you guys can continue about your business. If you look to your left, you see quite a large structure there with a rounded front fascia. And for that, I do have a little bit of narration I can give you real quick.
Okay.
Should have gone down to my notes to begin with. Before you stands the massive, decadent edifice of the Grand Archive of Jamua. Most people just know it as the Old Archive. Its colossal fascia belying the cavernous, labyrinthine halls carved into the very stone of the chasm. Hundreds of years of obscure records, ancient finds, and lost knowledge are fiercely protected by the archivists of Jamua, backed by the guilds and the Zapti. So it is known that they protect the archive. The doors currently, massive wooden doors, almost reminiscent of like a church or a cathedral, are closed. Which is probably not an odd thing. They don't just leave the doors wide open, especially not in the haze.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in the archives then, folks?
I think that's where we were going to, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
Just
I
went in there.
And
Would you like to head over there and take a look?
Certainly.
And am I right in thinking that
Okay.
we're looking for a gap in the archives where this thing would be? This tablet?
You're looking
not-
for where
not
it should
truly.
be. Yes.
No?
Okay.
I'd actually like to look at activity as to who was logged into the library at the various periods, who had access to that particular area, as well as the fact that the gap is there, or even if somebody has deleted the gap from the records.
Oh, okay.
So-
It's also important to note, since you're talking about it, Osric would probably know, and I think Oziel would know this as well, as you're both scholars, that now that you recognize that the number would link to, wherever it's held in the archive, that would actually be like, not a file because it's a physical object, but like some kind of carton or crate that it would be kept in, or would have been kept in. It's not there now, but which might also hold other artifacts that are associated with it, if you get my meaning.
And there may also be files on who brought
Correct.
it in, where it came from.
Where it came from.
Correct. Yeah. So, okay, you, you don't have to move your tokens yet, because it's not like we're in combat, but you head over to the doors.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you're going to try to open them.
Of course.
Okay. So, you find that the doors are locked. And appear to be barred. And you see this on a plaque next to the door. Did you guys see that?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. All right, hang on. Let me try again. How about now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Admittance by appointment only. Message the Grand Archive of Jamua and await a reply with your invitation. So we've got to use the messaging service thing. What do you call it? The Twitter thing.
Inter ship city messaging system. Yeah.
It's 140 characters. It's Twitter.
Or
it actually says that in the book. It's 140 characters.
It's
really
Twitter to be then. Yeah.
before goes and we let ourselves in.
I mean, I look
So,
around.
I do not
Do
wish
we
to have
see
my
anybody?
library privileges withdrawn.
Yeah, no, I would not like to have my library privileges withdrawn either. It's one of my favorite places.
So
I don't
out
read
of
books,
out
I'm
of
good.
curiosity, let me ask you this: who was looking at the plaque? Were all of you kind of crowded around it, or was
No,
one person in
no,
particular?
I'm keeping
I'll keep an eye out.
I'll look at the plaque.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at the plaque.
Okay, so anybody looking at the plaque, you see, kind of draped down and not fully connected to it, but maybe swaying a bit in the atmo of the haze.
Web?
That's what I was thinking.
A thin, kind of brassy black line, or possibly web. And so anybody who's currently looking at the plaque and notice the web, you can give me an intuition roll.
Okay.
And if you think any of your talents would apply, make sure and ask.
What's an intuition roll? Insight.
Oh, is it? God dang it. I wrote intuition, I meant insight. Yes, an insight roll.
And you just click the word, don't you?
You can, yeah, and you can do it on the sidebar. Yeah, INT, I think, is intuition.
I don't think there's any bonuses for this for me. Ooh,
Things
hang
to
on.
do with perception, investigation.
No, hang on, because this is to do with an animal. The spider was an animal,
yeah.
right? I do
Sure,
have, I do
biomechanical.
have
Yep.
a bonus on this. So where's my talents thing? So where is it? Teratology. You get +1 base die per talent level to know and understand the beasts of the great.
The Great Dark, but yeah.
Of the Great Dark, yeah. Also, when searching an area for clues, we're not searching the area for clues, are we?
Not specifically. This is just something that you're noticing. Yeah.
So I'm rolling on the teratology talent, right?
Sure.
You can use that way, and that'll automatically give me the bonus.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the public
Correct.
roll button is grayed out when I do it that way.
That's weird.
I'll try doing it this way and just I'll do it the old way and just add a dice. So.
Well, now I'm concerned. I want to look at your character.
No successes, but there's no ones, so I'm going to push it.
Okay. There you go.
I won that. Oh, I lost the hope, but I've got a success. Oh wait.
Okay, so
wait. I just rolled.
where?
Wait, that rolled empathy. Why did that roll empathy? I pressed insight. I must have pressed the wrong one.
Well, it's fine. You get a success.
I've got
it's
less.
no big deal.
I've got less dice on empathy than I do in insight. Shall I roll one more dice just?
Tell you what. Let's just delete that for you. Go ahead and roll insight,
Okay.
and make sure you activate your talent.
Insight and add talent. There's an add talent button, right?
And then you just pick the talent, teratology.
and then public roll. There we go.
Ooh.
There you go.
I just accept it, eh?
So, very quickly, before we get on to that, where did you try to activate it the first time? From the sidebar?
Question before we fix that. On that first roll that you've deleted, I lost the hope, so I should put one hope back up, shouldn't I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I tried to roll that from the automations page. I went to the roll teratology. The public roll is blanked out.
Yeah, I want to take a look at this.
Like grayed out.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because you would have then had to have selected insight as the ability you were rolling it under.
And there it is, yes. Yep. My bad, Brian, sorry. Yeah.
No worries. No worries.
Of course there's nothing wrong with it.
We're all learning the system, right? You know. Yep. Okay, so both of you succeed. Osric very well for the moment. And so you do, as you're looking at the plaque and you notice the web, you do just kind of instinctually look up and you see one of those mechanical spiders just out of reach up the exterior wall. And it looks like it's just sitting there and watching you.
Yeah, watching us. I don't like that it's watching us.
You get the distinct feeling that it's watching you.
And this is the second one we've seen now. The first one pretty much attacked us. And
yeah, this one is out of reach.
And this
What's
one's
that?
watching us.
I ask, looking up.
Oh yeah, because Osric hasn't seen him.
Osric has not.
Yeah, I was like, well, one of us has a rifle.
This is no, we don't. Not in Ship City, we don't carry our guns around, Max.
I think some people may have brought a gun down into the haze.
Oh, we're in the haze. Yeah, the haze is okay.
Yeah.
People don't give a shit in the haze, right? It's the ghetto. We can have guns.
They're only tiny, these spiders, aren't they?
Aye.
They are tiny, yes. It would be very difficult to shoot. Also, you would be randomly shooting at the Grand Archive.
Rico's got a whip.
Yep.
Is anybody telling me what it is?
Yes. So, Osric, this is the thing that attacked Idris earlier on. We had one of these attacked Idris. We think it's the same spider that's the web that the web comes from. It's biomechanical. It's biomechanical in nature. Oh yeah, ashes kill. It's a bird.
Clear blight.
Well,
if you say that's got blight in it.
So, okay, so you're gonna have ashes use clear blight on it.
Well, if they've told me that that's what caused the blight.
But Ashes not scan it?
Well, Ashes can do a blight scan, certainly, to see if there is blight, but you told me that it caused blight effect.
The last one did. The last one did. But that's not necessarily the case for this particular one.
Might not be the same, yeah.
Maybe the person handling, or the thing handling these spiders has got blight, and it's...
Also, if we feel like it's a danger and a threat to us, the bird could also just go peck. It's a tiny little spider, the bird could take it out with a peck, right?
Well, it'd be probably a good idea to do a blight scan just in case that's not
exploded.
Yeah, then it would explode. Yeah.
Okay, so
for a second.
this is what we're gonna do. Osric, assuming you're commanding Ashes to do this.
Yes.
Commanding is harsh. You're asking us.
I'm asking him.
Ashes to do it. You need to open Ashes' sheet and activate the Clear Blight ability.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't automatically reduce, you need to reduce his energy by 1.
Okay.
His or her. I don't know if we know how to refer to Ashes. Whatever you guys prefer.
I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. I don't think we decided yet.
No, I don't think we've decided.
I just say leave it as it is.
Do I press the little circle to the right, to the left of Clear
Correct.
Blight?
Yes, that's what you should do.
Okay. And it then offers the choice of energy as a bonus.
That's your call. If you spend additional energy, it gives you additional successes.
Okay. Do I, given that I have the talent for using Ashes,
you would add in your talent.
Mm-hmm. You've got the bird hand talent, eh?
He's got that, and he is the companion, so it's already going to add 1 for that as well.
bird handler.
Yeah, he gets +1 for his affinity just for being the companion, then he gets another one for the talent.
Correct.
Yeah.
And a public role.
Oh, I see some 6s. I see 3 6s,
Oh,
David. Oh, and 2
3
1s.
6s.
Very nice.
I don't push it here.
Yeah, don't push
Okay,
it.
so what does it look like? Keeping in mind that Ashes, when... I'm just going to say she. I like the idea of she. When she uses Clear Blight, she clears the blight
spreads her
from an entire
wings.
zone.
She spreads her wings in front of her and pushes the blight away from the zone.
Okay.
Oh, is it like a glow?
Yeah, you see a barely perceptible wave or field emanate out from Ashes to a pretty significant distance. It clears a zone, so a zone generally is about 25 meters. And so this wave will definitely strike the spider, and you see the spider visibly kind of recoil back after getting struck by this wave, and then it settles in to watch again.
I wonder if it neutralizes the blight in it.
It's not a blight creature, because that would have just killed it if it was a blight creature and she was clearing blight.
If it was a fully blight creature, it would have just killed it. Yes.
Yeah. So it's...
Yep. But if it had blight inside it, would that be protected from the effect?
Well, it's possible you may have just purged the blight.
It's no longer got the blight. Yeah, maybe.
Because the current assumption is they are like an heirloom technology, which is technology that humans used to make. They just either don't have the materials to make them anymore or have forgotten how to.
Yep.
So it's a human-made object. Essentially, they were initially what are known as kites or drones. And so you may have just cleared the blight from it. It's possible. You may have even cleared any programming it had tied to the blight. Difficult to say, but it does stay there, and it continues to look in your direction.
If we could grab this spider,
we could take it to the lab.
I've got a computer talent that might help us hack it.
And we have a lab
Okay,
as well.
I mean, it's out of reach. Somebody's going to have to try and climb up to it if you really want to try and grab it.
No. Our flying companion can just grab it. One of us flying.
You want to have Ashes try and grab it? Knowing that the last time somebody grabbed one, it blew up?
No. Ashes is valuable, and she should be protected.
So how are we going to?
I mean, I could kind of
it explodes when you grab it.
I mean, I got a lot of reach.
The last one did, but not necessarily this one.
Yes,
not necessarily. That's true, but it's a risk.
To hit it
at the present moment, there's 100% certainty. That is not acceptable odds.
We can hit it at reach with Rico's got a whip. We could always just go whoosh, and that's going to kill it. And if it doesn't explode,
kind of effect.
A whip's going to kill it if he hits it. Yes,
but we can still analyze it when it's dead. We can still take it to a lab and analyze it when it's dead.
Sure. Yeah.
But the risk is there might be nothing left if it does blow up.
Question.
Yeah.
That web is dangling. Is it attached to that spider?
It does not appear to be attached to it currently, no. Like the spider is on the wall. Okay, yeah, you pull the web down easily enough.
Fair enough.
Is it just like the previous web?
Fold that into a piece of paper for later analysis. Then I shall light up a cigarette and then blow smoke at it to obscure its view, while you lot get something going on it.
Yeah,
if it's watching us, I'm obscuring its view.
What's the distance of the spider from us stood underneath it? What's the...
Well, what do you think the highest vertical in the party is? 7? 8 feet? I don't know.
Oh, you mean our height plus reach? Yeah.
Yeah. 8 feet.
Figure.
Yeah. 8 feet.
Just to make it simple, figure it's about 10 meters up.
Oh.
10 meters?
10 meters.
No. In that case, forget that. I'll just smoke the cigarette.
Okay, 5 meters. It's just out of reach. 6 meters.
Well, I'm thinking again, going back to my little bag of tricks. I've got a climbing.
If you would like to climb the side of the Grand Archive of Jamua,
if no one's looking at us, I'll have a look around first and keep an eye out.
So it's difficult to say because, like I said in the opening narration, past arm's reach, everything is kind of a almost blood-colored haze.
So they can't see us if we can't see.
You don't see anybody in your immediate vicinity currently, no. And there aren't any windows on the front of the Grand Archive, so it's not like anybody's watching you from within.
We could post up. There's 5 of us. We could post up 4 of us on the corners to try and watch for people coming.
I think if I use the climbing kit and grab this spider, if it's going to blow up, it'll blow up in as soon as it's grabbed. Very similar to what happened to Greed last time.
If myself and one of you just lean back against the door, then a skilled acrobat could step into our hands and up onto our shoulders and make a grab.
That would be pretty easy. Sure.
So if a couple of you keep an eye out and one of you assists me, then well.
Yep, I'm happy to do that. I mean,
Idris, care to try that?
I'm not the strongest member of the party.
No, I'm not. I'm
strong.
I'm not attempting to be strong. I'm just attempting to be a stalwart bulwark for somebody to stand on.
Sure.
So you're going to do this.
So somebody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Osric is offering to give somebody a hand up. Since you were already planning to do it, I think we'll have Edris make the roll with a bonus die from Osric. And yes, that would be agility. And if you... I don't think you need to use your climbing kit, but if you... you're just getting boosted up, right? So...
Mm-hmm. And what are you going to catch?
I will allow a second person to help with the boost, because I've seen 2 people boost a third before.
Yeah,
that's why
I'm strong.
Okay.
Yes.
So you'll get 2 bonus dice to your agility. Do you have any talents that might help you?
No, the only thing.
I think I do. I think I got let me see what.
No. This is just Edris because he's making the roll. You're already giving him a bonus die.
Okay.
So agility plus 2 bonus dice.
I pull off my skull cap and hand it to you so that you can clap it over it.
I was going to see if I've got
smart.
anything to grab it and put it in. I've got a backpack, which all that does is increase my carry limit, but other than that...
well, just put the skull cap over it and grab. Okay. Of course, if it explodes, I'm down a skull cap, but it might protect your hand.
It's just a hat, yeah. You can
always get another one hat back.
Alright, so 2 bonus die and an agility check.
Yep, 2 additional base dice on agility.
The backpack just gives you extra carry capacity. I think that's very handy. We should all probably get one of them.
I'm going to push that.
You're going to push it? Okay.
Yeah, and that cost me 1 hope, is it?
It should figure that out automatically when you push. But yes, generally it's 1 hope. I didn't see if you had any 1s.
Oh, there's 2 6s.
Thought I saw 1, but
no, there were no 1s. Most of them seem to be 4s.
You lost 2 hope, but you did get 2 successes, so you succeed. So yeah, you managed to use Osric's skull cap to kind of pluck this thing off the wall as they boost you up, and kind of catch you as you come back down. It doesn't explode.
Excellent.
So I've now got this thing in your skull cap. Thank you very much, Osric.
It doesn't even seem to be moving. You can't feel...
I'll listen to it.
Do we have a small box or plastic container we can put it in?
Quick point I want to make.
Possibly chew its way out.
Quick point I want to make. I just thought of it. If this thing is spying on us, it's just hit the jackpot if we're about to take it back to our ship and take it to our lab.
Well, that's why I said if we can mess with it now.
It maybe has lost its programming when we've cleared the blight from it.
Who knows? But, I mean, why do you doubt that it's spying on us? It is, after all, a spider.
No.
Very nice.
Oh.
Very nice.
The thing is, if we take
Very
it
nice
back to the
dad
lab blind, it's wrapped up in a bag and it can't see anything, then it's not going to know where this lab exists. Do you know what I mean? Like when you kidnap someone and you blindfold them, you take them to a place. You blindfold them for the journey, and then you take the blindfold off when they get there. They don't know where they are.
So we need to make a decision now because it's.
I'm just going to say you have a few options to contain it. Osric has an archaeology kit, which would have like small baggies and specimen containers.
We have jars for dirt and stuff. Yeah.
Sure, we can say that. Rico has a toolbox. You could shove it in the toolbox with his heavy tools. I haven't looked at all your sheets, but the rest of you might have something. You can put it in something to bring it with you. It itself has no weight.
Well, I shall offer Rico one of my archaeology specimen boxes for him to decant it into, and then retrieve my skull cap. After all,
so
can't go around undressed.
When you open the skull cap and drop the spider into it, you notice that currently it's just a small, like, brassy black bead.
Ah.
It's retracted legs and
Its thing, yeah.
that sort of thing.
But it doesn't even look really like a curled up dead spider. It just looks like a bead,
like a ball bearing,
like a ball. Yeah, like a ball bearing. Yeah.
Ancient technology, isn't it? I mean, possibly it's projecting an energy field which creates the legs. Who knows how they did these things?
So do we get this back to the ship and mess about with it?
This is possibly.
I will not suggest Edris might have broken it. That would be bad manners.
I was gentle. I was expecting the thing to explode.
Yeah, I think with his 2 successes, he was gentle.
Yeah. Let's get it back to the lab on our ship and see if we can do. We'll do some analysis on it.
You gonna do that now?
No.
Right.
I am going to go to the ticker. To the nearest ticker tape room to send a message.
Okay. So there isn't one close. You'll have to spend some time down in the haze, A, looking for it, and then B, using it. So that will take some time.
There's no mobile access to the ticker network, is there?
No, they're offices.
Yeah. So it's like a telegram almost, technology level wise.
Yeah, almost exactly. Yeah.
Still calling it Twitter.
So, would you like to do that, or is there anything else anybody's thinking or would like to do?
I'm just thinking, whilst I'm in the haze, can I go back to the landing page a second?
Huh?
I'm thinking, because I don't have one yet, even though I've got the talent for messing about with computers and things like that, do I need like a toolkit? Would that give me extra bonus if I had something
Do you have a tabula? Do you have a computer?
No.
I thought you said you did.
No, I've got the skill.
I see.
I've got the skill to electro specialist, so it says manipulating and repairing electronic devices.
Right. So
I'm just thinking,
yeah,
could I
computers. So computers are an interesting thing. They certainly exist, and then they're used, but generally they are a bit of a pricier item, and used by guilds primarily, rather than individuals. Like most people,
you wouldn't have one at home.
Don't use them for the most part.
It's just that if we're going to mess about with this spider, it says electric devices. Is it electronic, the spider, or is it something we just don't know at all?
Biomechanical.
Well, you're not sure. It is your thought is it's biomechanical, it's heirloom tech, so it probably is computerized on some level, right? What you're looking at, so there's a couple of options, but they're very expensive.
Buying tools.
No, it's not a tool, it's a computer. The Ibis 4 terminal is a basic computer for reading info cubes, connecting to comm hooks and other terminals via wires. It is 5,000 Ruck. And then there's the Marfid Heavy Terminal with sophisticated algebra software. Can read info cubes of about 15,000 ruck. And you can only purchase those from the Guild of Mechanics. The Machinist Guild.
Well, I could buy...
There's also the Field Terminal, the Zooks Field Terminal. That's 9,000.
Oof.
It's like a foldable...
The fine tools, which are 1,200. Oh, it's got the little brackets next to it.
Sure.
As well.
So those fine tools are going to let you dig into like the innards of it, but won't necessarily help you connect to it or program it.
Okay.
You're going to need a computer for that.
Would our guild have a terminal that we could use?
It would, in fact.
So when we return to the guild, then you could indulge there.
Mm-hmm.
Would it have the appropriate connectivity for testing items connected to the terminal?
Well, most likely. So even though it's heirloom tech, like the tech for connecting to things via comm hooks is still fairly common and hasn't changed even in 200 years. So while it's not used quite as often today, it's still largely the same tech. You might have to do a little bit of fiddling with it. It might like be the equivalent of trying to hook an AV cable into a HDMI socket, right? So that you might have to do a bit of fiddling and messing around with the connection, but it's doable.
So would you need a comm hook or comm wires or something? Or those should be available.
That should be available at the terminal in the guild. But you're going to have to request. You're going to have to request its use. It's not just open use.
Not just a library.
They're very expensive machines.
Mm-hmm. But given what we can report, this should certainly be of interest to the guild.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to the guild, it's another chance to talk to Musk and report what we've found so far as well.
Possibly, yeah.
Anyway,
so, are you going to hang down here though and look for a station?
We need a ticker station, yeah.
Is everybody doing that, or is anybody going to hang out near the archive, or is anybody going to do anything else while you're down here? Because I'm going to roll how many stretches it's going to take.
Shall we?
Well,
stick
given
together?
that it is the haze, I would appreciate company when looking for.
Sure.
One of these.
No, I think we're all going.
I think we stick together in the haze because it's dangerous down here. It's rough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of my territory. I'm used to this shit.
Have you got that thing on you, Idris?
Oh, jolly good.
I have.
Good man.
I have.
Nice.
So there, you do notice as you turn around from the front of the archive that if you look at the map, once you start moving into the haze, it gets a little tight. Lots of little alleys, lots of kind of incongruous and certainly not planned out structures. Almost directly across from the archive is what looks to be like a tea calf house of some kind. And as you move kind of in that direction, you do see that there are some people in there. Not a ticker office though. So let me go ahead and roll just to see where you're at.
While we're
go ahead.
While we're in the haze and we are, like looking around for stuff, and I'm nervous because this is a rough area. I would say that I would have brought my gun with me to the haze because it's the haze, right? So the whole time that we're down here now and looking for this ticker station and just paying attention to who's around and stuff, I'm fidgeting with the gun. I'm actually flicking the safety on and off in my pocket, just constant, like a fidget spinner, constantly flicking the safety on and off nervously. Right. In fact, anybody standing close enough to me could probably hear like a click, click.
Probably hears
click,
it
click,
like
click, click,
click,
click, click.
click.
When somebody plays with a pen and just does that, that's what it sounds like.
Can I make sure I'm on his other side?
You absolutely can.
Himself in the foot.
You absolutely can.
It's my quirk. I'm constantly fidgeting with something. So I think when I'm nervous and I've got the gun on me, I'm probably fidgeting with that.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sorry. Are you ready for this, boys?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. 11 stretches pass.
What's that, an hour?
Damn.
Hang on. Can I say what I was going to do?
You can, sure.
I was going to ask Rico, if we offer a little amount of money to one of the ladies in the or one of the servers in the tea shop, do you think they might tell us where there is a ticket place?
Us walking around and looking.
He scratches his head. I'm sure there's something around here like that.
Yes, but
I mean,
they are here. They're serving tea. They should know the neighborhood. Would a more gratuity be appropriate?
Possibly.
I'm sure they are. It's a.
Well, you know the appropriate customs. Would you care to make the offer, please?
Or Idris do it.
I can do it.
I'm socially
Yeah, I
awkward.
say Idris.
It's not my
Yeah, I
skill.
look at Idris. It's like you might want to ask him. He's more of the talky kind of thing. I'm more of a smash
This
face.
is your home territory. You know this place.
I'm more of a thinker than a talker, personally.
I
usually talk with my fist.
I don't think anybody's from the Haze, are they?
No,
Sorry. Rico told us this was his home turf.
Because he's violent and
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's more the rough and tumble kind of area that he lives playing around.
I gotcha.
You're closer to at home than we are.
So yeah, if you wanna offer some ruck to somebody in the tea house to.
So if we're in the tea house, are we gonna be, decent people, and we're going to order some tea?
Of course,
I'll order some tea, and I'll also ask the serving.
So we're going to be
lady.
11 stretchers drinking tea.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna take that away because you've changed what you're doing.
You've made the point of, and I'm going to put a little bit of extra ruck in and just ask nicely. I could really do with a Telegram community. What are they called?
Ticker.
Ticker office.
A ticker office, and I'd be grateful, as you look like someone that knows this area well, if you could point me in the right direction. I can use.
How much are you giving them?
How much is the tea?
So the tea is going to cost you like 5 ruck per. It's about the lowest you can pay, lowest value. So anybody having a cup of tea is 5 ruck.
I'll give an extra. I'll buy one for each of us. I'll give an extra 30, so 60 ruck.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ooh.
So yeah, she.
Well,
now
that's very
you're
kind of
making
you,
me.
Ashes. I don't think Ashes. Do you like tea, Ashes?
So Ashes kind of inclines her head in the manner that you've come to recognize as "Don't be ridiculous."
We will only need then 5 cups of tea, unless you're having 2, Idris.
So 55 ruck then is what you're telling Idris.
60. Just call it 60 anyway, because I don't
call
like
it 60. That's fine. That is making me want to roll something else though, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick.
Yes, we're now tagged as being rich idiots.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so
Careful with flash.
after you pay the server and they bring back your tea, and then they will tell you, there's a ticker office kind of, down this alley and over across this thoroughfare. Then you have to go under this particular bridge and then over here, and they give you directions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Haze really is a warren. Like, there's straight streets are a thing that happens for a matter of like 10 to 20 meters at a time before there's a turn or a split, or it's not, put it in modern day terms, there's no city planner down here. It's
chaos.
not
blocks.
Right.
It's more like a village in island Greece than New York City. Fucking rules. Can't fit a car down.
She gives you directions, and they're relatively easy to follow. You have no concern that you'll be able to follow those.
Mm-hmm.
You all drink your tea, I assume, right? You're not just going to rush out.
Oh no.
I'll drink it.
Okay.
Sipping drinks
And when I'm finished my tea, I very annoyingly and very nervously spin the teaspoon in the. So I'm stirring an empty cup.
Sure, right.
I forgot all about it in the previous sessions. My quirk is I'm constantly fidgeting with something,
Right.
Might become quite annoying.
So, and that's good. You should do that. So, while Edris is engaging with the server, is anybody else looking at anything, engaging with anyone? Is there anything else going on before we move forward?
Well, while he's doing that, if we're at the... Oh, no, we're not going at the guild, we're at the ticker station, aren't we?
No, you're in the tea house.
Yeah,
still
we're still in the tea house.
Outside of the archive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'll keep an eye out on the archive entrance, just in case it is opening.
It just opens, aye.
Might be an idea to kind of dash out and speak to somebody if that's the case.
If it does open, yeah. But also we should...
Yeah,
as you are looking, I will tell you that as you are probably closer to finishing up your tea, because having tea is not a quick affair necessarily in Ship City. I'm going to say it's generally a stretch in order to engage in that.
Is it
well, a couple of stretches actually. Probably closer to an hour.
Is it quite a common social thing in the culture to drink
Yes.
tea? Yes.
Yes. Tea or calf.
Yeah,
it's
the way that Turkish people do it with coffee. In certain cultures, they love a coffee, and it's a whole thing. Yeah.
So as you are here for a while, and as David has said, he's keeping an eye on the archive. You do, as you're perhaps getting down to the dregs of your tea, see someone who you are certain is an archivist.
Okay.
Coming into the tea house, placing an order, because you wouldn't see them in front of the archive because of the haze, right? That's pretty far away. They place an order for several cups of tea, and it's uncommon for people to take tea to go, but for something like the archive or a guild, it's a little bit more allowed because it's understood that they're busy and they have responsibilities, so they would then take it back. And this archivist places their order and is currently waiting for their orders to be filled. It looks like there's several cups, like 5 or 6 cups of tea that have been ordered.
Do you think you should go and talk to him, Idris?
I turn to Osric and say, are they worth talking to? Do you think we should go and talk to them?
Certainly. May be able to use influence to short-circuit sending a message.
What do you want me to say? Or do you want me to grab them and use it?
I will come and speak to him with you.
Excellent. There you go.
Okay.
We'll get up and jolly ourselves.
Walk over to him.
Excuse me. And then once I've got their attention, if they turn that, Osric, my friend has just got a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind.
Okay, I am an archivist. I am a librarian. I do have cultural sensitivities. Is there a short-circuit method of talking to people in the library that I'm aware of? If not, I'll just have to use normal...
You mean like a secret handshake, like the Masons?
Well...
So...
Or a certain way you talk certain code words?
I mean, you might speak their language, as it were. I'll give you a bonus. Are there any other talents you want to consider in speaking to them? Also, what are you saying? Like, that's what I want to know.
What's the guild that the archivists are part of? Is it a guild?
Archivist guild.
So they're not a guild. They're just archivists.
Oh, okay. Is there a guild that they prefer that we know of?
There's
a reason. There's a reason.
You know, they would never admit that they prefer one guild over all others.
Okay.
But they probably do.
Probably.
It's politics.
And would Osric have any kind of clue what that would be? Who that would be?
Tell you what. Why don't we have? Anybody, roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
A 4.
Okay. So, Osric, you can tell pretty easily that this lady is a Coriolite.
One of yours.
I think you're muted, David.
My apologies. One of my own faction. I shall bow politely in the appropriate manner and
I'll follow suit
introduce
straight
myself as a very junior member of the faction, and explain that we are about to seek access to the archive, and would be grateful for her advice on the quickest way to achieve access.
Okay. So, in recognizing her as a Coriolite and recognizing her station as being above you and treating her as such, I think that'll give you a bonus. But I am still going to have you roll, which I know isn't great for you. I'm going to let Edris give you a bonus die. You'll get a bonus die from treating her appropriately, and a bonus die from also being a Coriolite. So you're going to be able to add all three of the bonus die that you're allowed to add to an empathy test. And
anything for being a librarian myself?
Well, the maximum number... Oh, okay, so you can roll librarian, add librarian talent to it as well, yes.
So I give you another one or whatever.
Gives me another 2.
Well, nice.
So that's 5.
Not bad.
Plus your empathy.
Yeah, plus your empathy. Not a bad dice
Against my empathy.
Well,
So,
yeah,
but
plus,
yeah.
it's plus your empathy, because your empathy score will be that many dice.
Yep.
So it's 5 plus empathy will be the number of dice you get, which is pretty shit hot.
okay, here we go.
It's not nothing.
So here we go.
Oh, I see.
Ooh,
3 6.
that's
very nice.
Oh, this is nice.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
So yeah, you chit chat with her for a bit, and she talks to you about, you know, the life of the archivist, and talks about, you know, being...
I will inquire as to her research targets. Can I carry those for you, mistress?
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, by the time the tea comes, you offer to carry the tea back with you, and she starts to leave with you at her side, but then says,
oh, sorry.
your companion's not coming?
I kind of gesture them over and introduce them to the senior
Fantastic.
archivist, and tell them to offer their thanks for her patronage.
I will.
So she,
know.
as you've been speaking with her, she identifies herself as Archivist Mir Kazil, Khazil, if you want to write that down. Mir,
MIR?
MIR dash Kazil. Mir is an honorific that Coriolites use.
Alright, so what was the second one? K?
Khazil. Mir Kazil.
Yeah, Castle. Thank you.
And yeah, so she kind of chats at the rest of you, but mostly to Osric as you cross kind of the open area between the tea house and the archive, and she pushes the doors open. Apparently they had been left that way, or there's some kind of signaling method, and because she suffers no resistance when pushing the doors open. They do creak a bit, but you are able to enter the archive. So let me go ahead and make that available to you. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Is she researching anything of interest, or is it confidential?
So yeah, as you cross, she talks to you about looking into, and this might also be interesting to Ozil, the use of various fungus that are found both within the caverns of Ship City, but also out amongst the dark for medicinal purposes, and also, and she gives you a bit of a wink, recreational purposes. She appears to be a botanist.
I shall engage her in conversation. I do happen to have a prized book from my family of recipes, and
when she says mushrooms for recreational purposes and winks at Ozil, Ozil doesn't wink back. Oliver winks back through the fourth wall.
So, yeah, if you guys want to click through to the Grand Archive, you certainly can. It should be visible to you now.
Someone pull me to that map, because I've jumped to the Ship City map for some reason. I can't get
on my map tabs, I only see outside the archive and landing page.
I'll pull you guys. It's fine.
Okay.
I shall speak to her as long as she seems interested about the mind expanding fungi recipes, volume 4 that J.W. Marketalum wrote, and it has
she
fascinating.
Is actually interested and definitely continues to speak to you as you enter the archive.
I listen intently as she talks about this, because this is botany, this is gardening, this is my thing, this is where I come from, so I'm very interested. I'm giving her lots of verbal nods. Oh yeah.
Well, no, this isn't actually botany, this is more recipes. Yeah, the practical use of them for expanding the mind and granting insights.
Right, it's not the growth; it's more the use. But yeah, botany there's a bit of crossover.
You could grow them, and then you could make the
Well, botany is it's edible.
Yes.
A large set of double doors, Kuan wood, which is pretty rare nowadays, is wood from the old Horizon planet of Kua, worked by a master. Sitting at the top of a beautifully carved set of broad stairs lead into the vast cavern-like interior of the Grand Archive of Jamua. The hall before you is lit by dim globe lights and row upon row of metal shelves stretching almost up to the high ceiling. Walkways and bridges connect the higher shelves, and gray-clad archivists can be seen tending to their task. So you enter with Kazil, and she leads you to essentially what is the reception area, and requests that you all sign in and produce any guild affiliation that you have.
Very good. I shall place the tea on a table and sign myself in using my normal access rights and add in my recent joining of the guild of
Explorers.
What's the precise name of our guild again?
Explorers.
The Explorers Guild.
Explorers.
Yeah.
Question for you, Brian, about guilds.
Yes.
So my background is the Gardening Guild, but I am currently in the Explorers Guild. Am I still a member of the Gardening Guild also?
You are not.
No. You can only be a member of one guild at once?
Yes. You can only be a member of any standing in one guild. You still have a good relationship with the Gardening Guild.
I'm still an associate.
But
an affiliate.
Right, but for whatever reason, you decided to become an explorer, or were invited to become an explorer.
Yeah, so I'm an ex-gardener, now explorer, but I still have some connections in the Gardening Guild.
You still have connections, you're still in, at least decent standing with them. Mm-hmm. Just like Osric will always be a Coriolite. He is, which technically Coriolite's not a guild exactly, it's kind of a combination of guild, religious sect, and family.
Social standing, and yes. I'm not a very good one, unfortunately.
Well, yeah. Which may be why he's an explorer now. But upon seeing Osric, at least, and assumingly the rest of you, produce his guild identification and indicate that on the sign-in tome, because it is quite a large tome, she looks up and says, "Oh, an explorer, quite nice." And nods to the rest of you as well as she notices that. So she
Five
at least
explorers.
seems to like explorers.
Before
Well,
I sign this. Go on, Dave,
Sorry. Well, I will tell her that I hope to bring further luster to the name of my family with my exploits for this guild. If I cannot bring it by my personal work for the family, then reflected glory may assist. And
Well, I'm
and I
sure
shall-
you will. Are you all? What is the nomenclature you use? A crew?
yes, indeed, and these are my fellows.
We are the
And,
Crimson Raiders, ma'am.
Oh, very
kinda nod at her.
adventurous sounding name.
Eh,
Have you all?
We are explorers. It should sound adventurous.
Indeed. One must not be boring.
No.
Have you-
Are there, sorry, just a quick question. From previous visits, are there copying facilities here so that I can copy a couple of the recipes for her?
Yeah, they would probably have a scriptorium, I would assume. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I shall beg permission to make her a copy of a couple of the more interesting recipes that she has shown.
Oh, by all means, let me show you to the scriptorium. The rest of you, there will be someone along, I'm sure at some point. We are closed today, but we still man all of the stations, so it will be but a few moments before someone else comes along to assist you with, well, I don't believe we've even gotten to what you're looking for, but sure, join me in the scriptorium,
Just
Osric.
before that.
Or does...
before I-
She actually says Mir Meebo. Do you stop her from saying that?
Huh?
Because Mir is,
the
you know,
title. It's like a
Coriolis generally. It's
Yeah.
like an honorific.
No, I don't.
Okay, cool.
I still consider myself a Coriolis, just not a very
Right.
good one, unfortunately.
Sure. So yeah, she offers to take you off to the scriptorium and leaves the rest of you alone in kind of the reception area.
Take a look at the signing in book and see if I recognise any of the names. Or
You're going straight for the signing in book. Okay.
well, I've not signed my name in yet, so that's what I was.
Okay.
That's what I was doing.
So
I want
here's
to
the
see
problem.
any
It
names.
is a tome. It is quite large.
Okay.
And we
Based
don't
on
yet know
what
the
you've...
dates.
Yeah.
Well, I could help you with that if nobody remembers, but I'm hoping somebody's
I've got
been
a
paying
date.
attention during their
Yeah.
investigation.
There was something about a date on something.
It was a reference on the note.
Which, no, the reference to the note was an archive number, because I originally thought
Yeah.
it was a date. It was
Yeah.
the archive number, but there was a date attached to something, wasn't there?
So the archive number is definitely going to get an archivist when another one comes along to get you to the right place. But if you're wanting to look at the sign-in book, you're going to need, like, people come here relatively often. So if you don't recall, I will help you. Well, tell you what, I'll help you a little bit. This sounds like a good time for someone to roll. What would memory be?
Knowledge.
Insight?
Inside.
Nah, I would say knowledge.
I think memory. No, I think
Or
knowledge is knowledge. Memory is insight, I think.
you could always do it as the average of your knowledge and your insight.
Me logic?
Because it maybe is a combination.
You just want to use
knowledge and
logic
insight.
because your logic is higher than your insight.
Well, it could be. Well, I'm not there, so I am
Right.
kind of. This is selfless. Perception is, did you hear it? Insight is, did you remember it? So average of the two.
Right?
For me, that would be good, but I'm not there.
Tell you what, I will let you use either perception or insight, but not
Right.
logic.
Can I take one guess before anyone rolls?
Perception
You can.
or insight.
Particular date. I'm thinking, are we looking for the 11th?
So the 11th is yesterday.
The day of the funeral is what I was thinking.
Right. He died some days before yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So do we know what date he died? Roll.
Master Muska did tell you.
She did. She did. I
Right,
remember.
I'm going to roll perception
thinking...
to see if I can remember then. Let me just see if any talents would come into this. I don't think so.
The more successes you get, the closer you'll get.
Yeah, I don't
it just might take you longer to look through the book.
Yeah, I don't have any bonuses on this. I'm going to roll on perception then.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all 6.
Okay. So you get 1 success. You know that Master Muska said that it has been more than a week, or sorry, less than a week between his death and his funeral.
Right.
Yeah, because he, in the notes, or the notes that I've in the journal, he contacted Master Muska a few days before he died, and his funeral was on the 11th, and it's less than a week, so that's a narrow window. That is not that.
That's a pretty narrow window.
Yeah.
So I will let you guys take some time to look through. I will be generous and say that you are able to find Najar's name before a clerk shows up to see you rifling through the book.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going to keep an eye out for clerks coming in. I'm going to distract them
cool.
And I'm going to go distract them with a question if they do come.
That's helpful too. Great.
I keep journal watch.
I'm very socially
so yeah,
awkward. It won't be well done, but I'll still distract somebody.
But you could try, yeah. Mm-hmm. So Edris, going through the book, you find. Let me open my calendar, so I can give you roughly that exact date. So yesterday was the 11th, less than a week. So you find that Najar's name comes up on Moon Day.
Moon Day is Monday, isn't it?
Well, on your calendar, it's technically there's only 6 days in the week, so yeah, technically it's Monday.
There's only 6 days in a week, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's Moon Day. Forget all the names right off the top of my head, but they're all on the calendar.
And is a day 24 hours?
Yes, a day is a standard 24 hours, correct?
Because you get into funny territory when you get to space with time, don't you?
You do.
Because days.
Yep, yeah.
I can't remember which planet it is, but there's a planet in our solar system where a day is longer than a year.
Yep. Probably many, many more like that in space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's you find his name on Moon Day. Now the bigger question is, and this might take you longer, are you going to look for indications of access to or borrowing of items from that particular lot?
What he was looking at, yeah.
Around that time?
Mm-hmm. Ideally, yeah. I mean, we need to know.
So also on Moon Day, pretty much right underneath, if you're looking at the lot numbers now, you see that Najar Levan is listed, and directly beneath him is a person by the name of Bautaleb Gar. So they have it listed last name first. Mm-hmm. So it's Gar Bautaleb, Garboutaleb. Gar Bautaleb. Also accessing that lot, and because they're right next to each other, probably with Najar would be the assumption.
Okay.
Right.
Because they're on the same timestamp as well.
Yep.
Then, what's interesting, as you're flipping through, you do happen to catch another indication of someone accessing that lot. And that is on Guild's Day, which is... so if we're just going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no Sunday, Moon Day would be Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of that same week, the 4th, someone accessed or requested access to that lot as well. And the name listed there is Aldor, Aldor, Mir Zirtain, Zirtain.
And the mirror means that they are a Coriolite, yeah?
That is the common assumption generally, yes. When you hear someone referring to themselves or being referred to by Mir, they are a Coriolite.
Is that just the Coriolite version of Mister?
Yeah, or Sir, or Sir, or, yeah. It's an honorific. It's not like an indication of title or anything. It's just how they refer to themselves and each other. You'll also remember that the caretaker at the funeral gave his name as Mir.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name again?
So, quick question about that.
Oh, he was Sir Aaron
Mir Bilal, yes.
And that
so he actually is a Sir. Yeah, that's higher.
And
yeah.
Question: if you fail to use the mirror, is that an insult? Is that like a social faux pas?
It kind of depends upon the Coriolite.
Right. So
there are some that will certainly take offense if you don't recognize them in such a way.
So there's more laid back ones and there's more uptight ones about it, right?
Correct. For example, I don't know that any of you have ever referred to Osric as Osric Mir Meebo.
No.
And I don't know that he's responded poorly to that.
I didn't know we were supposed to. I had no idea.
Well, there you go. Right?
Rico doesn't care. He's like, okay,
he's one of us anyway. We're all
you just call him Osric, right?
Yeah. We don't have titles. We're all the same here. We don't have fancy titles.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you find in the book.
That's brilliant.
I'm gonna say that maybe just as you're like spinning the book back around and stepping away from the counter, another attendant arrives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gentlemen, I wasn't aware. Oh, and lady, pardon me. I wasn't aware that we had appointments this afternoon.
We're with a colleague who is currently with one of your colleagues, I would assume. And
Kazil?
she said we could peruse.
And he does just call her Kazil. He doesn't say Mir Kazil.
Say Mir Kazil. What was it?
Yeah, Mir Kazil.
Yes, Mir Kazil.
I suppose if Kazil let you in, that's fine. Are you just waiting for your colleague, or are you interested in accessing anything?
I am, but I don't know if I should or not.
Yeah, wait. What do you think? Do you think you should, or it's maybe best not to say?
Yeah, I'll almost play docile. Yeah, I am just waiting. I was asked to sign in, so we've done that, and this is the amount of knowledge in this room is just mind blowing. So,
this is just the reception. The stacks are actually
okay. Would you mind giving a short tour of the place to someone that is completely out of their depth, but is blown away by this?
I do apologize. We don't do tours.
Oh no, I was asking on a personal level, not as an official thing, but more of a.
I don't do tours. There are a lot of sensitive materials in the stacks, and
there's absolutely no way I could. Just this once, maybe.
Charm it.
As someone that is absolutely just in awe of you guys.
Turn on the charm, Dave. Turn on the charm. That's it.
Well, that's what I'm going to do.
It's a female you're talking to.
So,
remember.
Before you roll, he's just going to be honest with you. He's look, I understand, but you have to understand. There are literally miles of shelves.
Okay. So
or I guess I should say kilometers.
They would need to know what they're looking for specifically.
Correct.
Otherwise, it's a waste of time coming in here.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I can if you have a lot number or an index number, I can lead you or point you in the direction of that particular item.
Can you explain how it all works? So with the lot number, so it's a particular number and then a letter, is that correct?
Correct. So people have who have legitimate appointments, or I suppose in your case, are allowed in by one of our archivists. And I see here that you're all explorers, so that certainly gives you a legitimate claim to access the archives. If you have a number, I can
I'll
point you
pull
in
a
the
number
right
out of my
direction.
head.
No,
How's that?
no, don't pull a number out your head. What to do is pull out a number that's close to the one that we're looking for, so we can be.
You didn't let me finish. I'll pull a number out of my head. That 1, 2, 3. Let's say. How's that?
What is it?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. This is so funny. They'll be like, I'm sorry, Explorer, you'll pardon me. Perhaps you've not used the archive before. The index numbers are generally 4 digits, both letters and numbers.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, Y, let's say.
1, 2, 3, Y. Very well. Yes, that one's not too terribly far from here, and as I said, there are no other appointments today. I can certainly take you to that location. Are all of you coming?
Ozil.
I assume you're a crew.
Yeah, no, I'll be coming. I'll be coming. Our friends in the, what did you call that room?
Scriptorium.
Scriptorium. Our friends in the scriptorium just now, but I'm gonna come and have a look with Idris, if that's all right. If you don't mind us having a look.
No, as I said, you're all explorers. You have legitimate claim to access the archive.
Thank you very much.
Rico,
You want to come?
Yeah.
With us?
want to have a look?
Well, is Osric gonna be by himself doing whatever? I don't want to leave Osric by himself unless he's coming with us.
Osric, he's basically copying recipes from one book to another by hand. It will take some time.
Almost distracting,
Just doing a couple of pages a couple of the recipes that she's expressed most interest in.
You saw where they went. You can go to the scriptorium to hang out with Osric, just in case, if you would like.
Yeah, maybe somebody stay with.
Want to do that?
I'll stay behind Osric.
If Osric comes out of the scriptorium and we've all fucked off, he's not going to know where we are. So yeah, maybe somebody going to the scriptorium with Osric.
If Garrido wants to stay, I'll come with y'all too. Just give you some backup.
Okay.
Well, Osric will assume you've gone to 122Y, which is where the place is.
Right. Right. So as you head into the archive itself, this particular archivist, who introduced himself as Dulon, Dhulon, he opens another set of grand Kuan wood carved double doors, and here is the archive. This chamber, you've no idea how large it is. It is essentially a warehouse. You can only see so far before the light from a glow light that the archivist has taken from a nearby rack just fades into darkness. The whole place isn't lit all the time. And as you enter, you can see that there is a Zapti constable who is seated in kind of a side area, nods to Dulon and says, "Oh, I didn't think you guys had appointments today." And he says, "Well, apparently we do." And then he leads you back into the stacks. And very quickly you're consumed or surrounded by darkness on all sides beyond the glow of the glow orb. It takes you a few minutes to get to where you're going, several turns and switchbacks. Although the library is quite more orderly than the haze outside, there are many rows and many side cross passages between the rows, and the stacks themselves are tall tall enough, in fact, that as you travel down some of the lengths of the rows, you can see ladders that are connected kind of on rollers. You guys have seen that before.
Yeah.
And the ladders and the height of the stacks themselves disappear into darkness beyond the reach of the glow orb.
So they're really high then.
Yes. But eventually he gets you to where you're going. You have no idea where you are unless you would like to make some kind of a... this would be kind of a logic kind of tracking check, but you doubt you would be able to get back out of here by yourself. You know the general direction you came from?
I'm going to make a logic check.
Okay.
Please.
Oh, well. No,
I am a cartographer. Direction is my thing.
Yeah, Oziel is pretty certain you can get out of here, which might be helpful.
Which
you
is
know,
ironic,
if need be.
because see, in real life, that is one of Oliver's biggest weaknesses. I am fucking terrible with direction. I get lost in this tiny little town that I live in.
You know GPS exists.
Yeah, I know. And I still have to use it when I go to Edinburgh, a city that I've been in all my life. I still have to use GPS to find places. That's how bad with direction I am.
Yes,
So, yeah,
well, my wife had the sense of direction of a brick. She knew which way was down.
I'm a bit as good as that, David.
So yeah, he leads you to lot 123Y, and says, "Here we are. If you need anything, I'll be back in a little bit to see how you're doing. I have other duties currently."
Thank you very much.
And he leaves.
Thank you very much.
It obviously leaves us with the glow orb thing.
We have these anyway.
he-
we own our own, don't we?
Well,
equipment.
Oziel has a lantern.
I have a lantern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Electric lantern.
Yeah.
Projects a
But now
cone
we
of
need to
light up to
establish-
short range.
We need to establish where 122 is. Are they literally right next to each other? Are they a distance apart? Or...
122Y is pretty close. You find it fairly quickly. And you find... Get to the book here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was right. It's about a 5-minute walk. This should also be noted is one of the oldest parts of the archive. The shelves are made of dark Kuan wood. There's kind of a musty smell of tar and old paper.
It's a nice
and
smell. I like
in
that.
In the section of 122Y, you find a crate with a label on top that says "Items from Dig Site 12." And in fact, as you're looking around, it's more than just one crate. It is 2 full shelves of old crates with rolls piled in between. So, you want to look at it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to see. Several crates have been opened recently. There are, in fact, traces of splintered wood on the floor, indicating that someone has damaged these crates, potentially.
Okay.
And according to the item manifest that is connected to one of these sections of the shelves, as you go through the crates and kind of take a look at the item manifest, probably unsurprisingly, it says a piece is missing from one crate, where stone tablet 122Y should be. Now, what I would like you to do, I need to...
122Y.
I may have... Yes.
Yeah.
Just for the notes that
I may have forgotten this. Let's double check. Here.
Also, Brian, we're an hour and a half in, so pick a nice time for a half-time break.
Oh, that's great, because I have to prepare a handout for you that I forgot to add in. So... I'll tell you what you find first, potentially, because you might not find it actually, and I shouldn't have told you. While you're looking through everything, I would like the three of you. I assume that Rico is also assisting once you find the shelves.
Yeah.
As you guys are
Moving
going
stuff
through all
around.
the shelves, I would like for you each individually to make a perception check.
Okie dokie.
Absolutely.
Looking for clues works, Oliver.
a clue,
so
yeah?
investigation.
So I
Yep.
get my investigator talent.
Yep. Well, there's one success.
I'll do it.
Okay, so two of you, it looks like, succeeded.
I got 0 successes, but we've got 2 people succeeded. Is it going to
Oh,
make
I
a
succeeded.
difference?
Oh
if
no,
more than-
actually, it's just
Just me.
Edris who succeeded, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Is
enough.
that okay? We only need one. I'm gonna
Yeah,
accept that.
that's enough.
Fly too dusty. I'm like, kind of deal.
So, Edris, you find as you're going through everything, as you're kind of looking at stuff and going through boxes and, you know, pulling things open, looking at scrolls and looking at manifests and all this stuff, something actually catches your eye on the ground.
Oh.
And as you bend over to pick it up, you find a small, kind of flattened, empty matchstick box with a yellow ape pictured on the front. And I will show you that after our break.
Excellent. So that was very serendipitous timing for a break. See y'all in 5 minutes, Twitch. And we are back.
All right, so before we took our break, I said I would show you the matchbox that Edris found, and so here it is. And it is now in your journal.
The matchbox. The golden ape, we serve everyone. And that's
yeah.
flattened and empty, so it was like somebody's used their last match
Someone's
and they just dropped it on the
Stood
floor
on it.
and stood on it.
It says
Aye.
flattened. It was flattened, so it looks like it was stood on as well.
This is
Somebody stood on it, stepped on it,
definitely
maybe
a-
dropped it.
definitely like a clue to who else was looking in those archives, isn't it? We need to go there, find out where that is, and we need to try and find out who that person is from there. We serve everyone. That kind of gives me the idea that it's like more of a rough place, you know, like in the ghetto.
Brian, have they
Yeah.
actually noticed what I used to light my cigarettes?
I don't know, have they?
Is this
I
just
don't know.
yours? Have you just dropped your own matchbox? you drop in red herring clues, Dave.
That's an interesting question. Do you have a matchbox from said establishment?
I don't know. Do I? I just
It is-
purchased my the matches where I buy my tobacco.
Yeah, then probably not. I think Ozil is probably close in his assumption that it is a rough place and probably not the place Osric would hang out.
No, I hang out with
that-
this lot, right?
Right. That being said, that's what's going on in the archive. What's going on with Osric and Garida?
Well, as I say, I copy the 2 recipes that she's shown the most interest in, and keep up a conversation with her while I'm doing it, just to see
Okay.
if I can be of potentially future assistance, and also make another contact within the Coriolites.
Yeah. So
in addition
she
to
is.
her servant Kerr.
By the time you're done, and you make small conversation while you're copying things over as well. You feel that it's a very pleasant conversation. You feel that you probably have connected somewhat with her. She hasn't offered any kind of definitive to that end, but she's chuckling at your jokes and references if you make any, and I wouldn't say she's smitten with you, but she appears to be friendly with you. So I would guess that you could probably call on her again in the future should you need to. And you know where she works. And you can certainly... to throw this out there, you can potentially build contacts even more by taking shift actions to find your contact and engage with them, maybe have a meal,
Socialize,
have tea somewhere, right? And so potentially build contacts that way. Building contacts like this is a good way to find people also to train you in things that they know that you might not. So yeah, I would say that she is available for you to contact in the future, at least through the library, right?
So by that,
for now.
So because of that, then when there's times where, for example, like when I was doing the research, the lab work, and we've got a shift where other people don't necessarily have something to do, they could be quite productive by just spending that shift networking, building up connections.
Correct. Yeah.
Keeping up connections.
But it has to be with people that you've already potentially met in game. You can't... Well, I mean, you can say, I would like to go out and find somebody to teach me something, right? Because that's like, as weird as it might sound, like in Ship City, where everyone relies on each other, there are literally people who offer up their services to teach people skills, right? But generally, it takes time, and it might cost you a little bit of ruck. Not anything mad, but, somebody might want to, have like 20 to $50 of ruck for their time to work with you to help you learn a skill, right? I'm not going to make you all destitute based on that. Consider you still earn 1,000 ruck a month just by being explorers.
We get a salary on top of everything we do. We get a salary, don't we?
Well, not only do you get salary, is when we actually get to the point that you're doing delves, things that you bring back from the delve also earns you more ruck, you get bonuses, right? So, yeah.
Sorry, what was her name again? I'll just add her to my contacts list.
Sure. Her name, you can write her down as Archivist.
Already
and
written?
You might want to write Mir, M-I-R, dash Khazil, Khazil.
Thank you.
So she's now a contact for Osric.
Correct. But she might also potentially be willing to speak to any of you as well.
She did
right?
meet us, yeah.
You can, you can network with each other as well and try to connect people potentially. Your existing contacts might be able to teach you things as well, right? Like you. If you're wanting to spend experience, you might be able to learn things from them or from someone that they know, for example, right? So anyway, you do that with her. There's not really anything investigation-wise that would be happening here necessarily with Khazil. It's just interaction, trading recipes, and potentially gaining a contact. Did Garita join them in the scriptorium, or were you just hanging out in the reception area? You're muted, Brian.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the scriptorium, but off to the side. I'm not interfering. Find a chair, sit down, and
There are quite a number of comfortable chairs. The scriptorium is quite a smaller room than the reception hall. The reception hall, in describing it as having bridges and these tall shelves and everything, which it does, think of the reception hall as a small entertaining library / museum, whereas the actual archive is where the guys went off to. So yeah, it's quite comfortable in here. There is some kind of heating going on. You're not quite sure from where. You don't see an open hearth or anything like that, which would make sense in a scriptorium. You don't want to have fire around all these old, dusty tomes that are being rewritten.
They've probably got pipes running through the building with steam, something like that, right?
Right. Yeah. But quite comfortable, very relaxing. In fact, depending upon your proclivities, you might even fall asleep and take a short nap. Or you might stay awake and be more perceptive. That's up to you.
Garida might not.
Staying awake.
Brian would, but Garida might not.
Garida will be awake. You might find me nodding off in an hour.
As soon as Brian's comfy and warm, that's it. Lights out.
Okay, well,
speaking of warm, I hope you're warm enough, David, because I see you wrapping up in that blanket.
Is it cold in France, David? In that big old house?
My sister's place is about 4 stories. It's 18th century building. It's -7 degrees outside. It actually got up to about -1 at the height of the temperature this afternoon.
Wow, yeah, it's chilly over there.
Rather chilly, yes. Anyway, once I've transcribed the recipes, then I shall offer to her with my thanks for helping us with our inquiries. Pick up the tea, and follow her to where it has to be delivered. And,
okay. So
I'm going to ask for where's the washroom.
Okay, so there is a washroom off the scriptorium that she directs you to.
Okay.
There's also a few
I'll come
washrooms.
back and collect you, Garuda.
So she then takes Osric to basically a small office that has several stations. Not cubicles so much. This definitely feels like a more lived-in place where probably the primary archivists spend most of their time. But the desks are well-appointed, old. In fact, many of the desks and chairs here look like museum pieces themselves. So it seems like not only do they respect the ancient things, but they actually use them and keep them in well-conditioned status. And she says, oh, go ahead.
I should treat them with respect. Yes.
Okay. She's like, yeah, you can place the tea down there if you would. I really do have to get back to work. I do appreciate your assistance, though.
Well, many thanks. I trust those recipes may be of interest, and thank you for your assistance.
Oh, quite happy with the recipes. I'm looking forward to using them. Again, if you need anything from the archive, please just contact us. I will inform the rest of my companions that or my associates that Osric Mirmibo is one to be respected.
I bow deeply in gratitude and wish her the very best in her researches.
And she wishes you the same.
And I shall return back to the scriptorium and join up with Garida.
Okay. So, what are you two going to do? Are you going to try and head into the stacks on your own, or are you just going to wait for your friends to return?
Well, I since I am archivist by trade, do I know the layout of the stacks myself?
So I would say you don't have intimate familiarity with the full stacks of the archive, but you know how they categorize things, and obviously rows and through fares will be labeled. So if you want to seek your friends, you should be able to.
Yeah. Okay. Also, are there data cubes?
So
available?
Data cubes generally would be kept in a more secure location. The archive itself is more for physical and like old physical items and old writings. They probably have essentially like a server room for data cubes.
Well, I was just interested in who actually presented 122Y to the archive and when it was placed there and who placed it, and hopefully that will be recorded within the data cubes.
Actually, most of the data cubes that they maintain in the archive are maintained for archival purposes. The archive itself does not use a computer system because they are not considered important enough to have access to such systems by the Machinist Guild.
Right. So does that mean that they have a paper
they do.
archive system? In that
They
case, I shall
have.
Old school.
Yeah, go ahead.
In which case, I'm going to be hunting through a lot of volumes because we're looking for 122Y, so it's looking for the information recorded about it in the the paper system. Yep.
So like the old Dewey Decimal, like boxes where you pull out the
an analog. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Only much larger than any Dewey Decimal System that you've ever seen.
Oh yes.
However, it is quite well organized. So as you head into what is essentially the brain of the archive, you do see an archivist going through some things. He looks up. He sees you and he says, accessing records?
Yes, please. We are seeking to find the donor of certain items and wish to check the records.
Are you familiar with the system?
To a certain extent, I am certainly by no means an expert.
Well, if you have some familiarity, I'm sure that will be enough. Feel free. And he basically dismisses you.
Yes, that's fine. I'm just a very, very junior archivist. I know my place.
You would guess he probably is as well, because he's very young.
Yes, but he
probably
gained
like 18 or 19.
Me.
Well, yeah. So yeah, you find essentially just rows of a card system, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But you do know the number, right? So it's just a matter of taking the time to find it, and then opening the correct drawers and going through them. Kind of a one-person job. Garita can certainly help you to at least find the location, but you're not both going to be rifling through this drawer of cards. But, working together, you find it with some haste. I'll say it probably takes you about as much time to do this now at this point as it's taking the other group to find and go through the shelves. Speaking of the other group, let's go back to them.
When I was looking at talents earlier, there's one for a librarian or something. It seems a really good one, Nick.
Well, I just want to
well, it can be.
Brian said about the Machinist Guild. Is that where the computer in these data cubes access would be?
Well, the Machinist Guild are the one that controls that technology. Yes,
that's my affiliation, my affiliated guild.
Yeah.
So I could maybe use that. At some point.
If you want to buy something like that, you have to go to them. And out of everyone, you would be the most likely to be able to do so because of your past affiliation.
And using your past affiliations and experience points, by the way.
It is. Which is why Dave's going to get an extra experience point today.
Dave always seems to get an extra one.
He does. He finds a way.
Some fucking beginner, you, Dave. You're a liar. You've been doing this for years.
Oh no! I meant David.
No,
all
right,
the library stuff.
David is a pro. David's been doing this for 50 years. So.
Do you want to know a secret? When we got to the tape room, I was going to ask first servant Kier whether he could use his good officers to get us an early appointment.
Which would have gotten you the experience point the same way. Yeah, absolutely.
No, it would have gotten us an urgent meeting, which was the important thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but you also, because you're using that, you also, for sure. Anyway, so back to the group in the stacks. You guys have gone through everything. You've found pretty much everything I have to give you. What do you do now?
We need to find our way out of here, don't you?
Yeah, we need to get out of here, and we need to find out what this yellow monkey place is.
Okay,
shouldn't you be checking what 123Y, so that at least you've got a good story when somebody asks, what you found?
Oh yeah, so we know what at least 123Y is. Yes, let's get an idea of what 123Y is, just in case somebody grills us. Oh, did you find what you were looking for? Thank you, David.
Good thinking.
123Y, and depending upon his knowledge of what you were looking at, might be why you received a bit of standoffishness from the archivist who led you back here and basically left you in the dark. If you hadn't had your own lantern, like, he left with the light. Like, he didn't ask you if you needed it. Like, he just left. So when it's a single lot. It is a crate. And when you open the crate... What?
Porn.
Why would you say that and ruin it for me? So... It is a crate of items from what they often refer to as the Decadent Age. This is early Ship City, when people were kind of in the throes of kind of like apocalyptic and nihilistic thoughts, because they thought they were out here in the Great Dark. There was nothing, right? So everybody was it was just a decadent, indulgent age. Everybody thought they were gonna die. And yeah, so in the crate you actually find several books of interesting pictures and positions.
Excellent.
You also find a few tools that are pictured in said books, used in various acts.
Yes.
So yes.
Toys.
I'm going to turn to Ozil now and say, "Do you fancy any of this stuff?"
No, because I'm super socially awkward. I'm going to go bright red and probably drop whatever I'm fidgeting with, and then like
pick up one of the toys.
I pick it up and I'm like, I realize what it is, and then I'm like, and I drop it, and I go to pick it up and I kick it across the floor, and I'm like, shit, and I end up chasing it down the corridor. I'm running after a dildo.
That's
I pick it up. It's like, one of these.
It's somebody's old porn stash is essentially what that particular lot is.
Somebody's old porn stash, but could be somebody's
ancient. Well, I mean, if you want to check it out, you're gonna have to go through an archivist. You can't just leave with this stuff.
I think we've seen enough.
I only need it for a few minutes. It's fine.
In the stacks? You gonna wander off into the dark? Okay, so as you assumingly seal that crate back up and start to head back, I am going to ask all of you. So you're walking down a row. Ozil, we've already established, knows how to get back to the front because of his excellent navigation skills. As you're heading down one of the rows, you suddenly hear like a creaking and what sounds like the splitting of wood. And the shelf on your right begins to lean forward in your direction. And crates and books and all kinds of materials from that shelf come plummeting down, showering down upon you. I'm going to need each of you to make an agility roll.
Oh no.
To resist essentially being attacked by this happenstance.
Somebody's definitely pushed that over. That's not a thing.
I think we're a lot safer in the card index section, aren't we?
Do you want agility?
Yep, agility. Well, luckily I didn't roll too good.
3 for Idris.
I got 3.
What's my invasion coming to?
Did I get any 1s? How can I tell? Yeah, I've got 2 1s. I'm still. I want to push this, don't I? I don't want to get hit by this shit.
So, is there any way that I can actually, kind of keep hold the bookcase in my area from crushing me?
No, these are too large. The good news is the entire bookshelf is not going to fall on you because they're quite tall, and it's going to run into the other one, right?
But the stuff is going to fall down.
But the stuff is falling off onto you, and that's essentially what's damaging you.
Okay. Could I just basically bust through it, kind of crash through the bookcase?
I mean, you failed. Or wait, you didn't roll yet. You need just make your agility roll for me, and we'll see what happens, right? But you need to make that agility check.
I think he's appealing to roll strength instead of agility. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, this is agility. There's just too much.
Right, yeah.
There's too much.
Could I use my
Okay.
evasion to add to this?
No,
My evasion talent?
There's no ones on
Well,
that
you're not
box.
with them, Garita. You're fine.
No, you're with me. You're in the card
You're in the
index.
cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I said we're much safer with the card index. Or are
Okay.
we?
You're alright.
So, you did all succeed. So, yeah, you can certainly describe it that way, Max, that you just kind of held up your arm and just kind of powered through.
Yeah.
And however, geez, Edris had no trouble, and Ozil did quite well as well. So you just heard it happening and just started booking, right, to try and get out from underneath it, but none of you are taking any damage, and because none of you take any damage, I also want a perception check from all of you.
We see the guy that pushed it
Okay.
over.
I think it would need more than one guy to push it over.
Yeah. Oh, what have I rolled here? Got 1-1, I'm pushing it.
Okay.
Oh jeez, I'm down to 2 hope, guys. No more pushes for me.
I passed that one anyway, so I'll. We don't need all of us to pass
No.
it, do?
But yeah, you guys did well enough. Well, I think all of you did, didn't you? No, okay. We got just Rico and Edris. Oh, and you still didn't pass, even
I
with
still
losing the
didn't
hope.
pass.
That sucks. So you don't see anything, but maybe you're just kind of shaken by what just happened. But Edris and Rico.
Interrupt. I just want to interrupt. As we get clear of the stuff that's falling, I'm going to turn round and let out a big Ric Flair. Woo! Hype.
Question, Brian.
Because I
I'm
am
trying
a
to say-
thrill seeker.
On,
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
Garida.
Yeah.
on,
Did you hear anything?
Nice.
on that perception check you just had me roll, Brian, would my investigator talent... You get
No, it's not a clue. It's just paying attention to what's happening around you.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. Good question though. Don't be afraid to ask. All right, so as you get free or get past, as I was saying, Edris and Rico, you notice someone now, because a lot of the stuff has fallen off the shelves. You see somebody on the other side running, and they have, I would say, Edris, you even notice that they had some tools in their hands that they immediately dropped and started running. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Rico is going to chase after him. Is Edris going to chase after him?
Rico, you go. I'll go for the tools. You see if you can take him down. Or take them down.
Yeah. I pull out, I have my whip out, so I get in distance. And I'm gonna whip his legs and flip him up.
He's on the other side of the shelves.
He is on the other side, so you're going to have to wait until there's a cross. Because very quickly, you see which direction he's running.
Running in tandem.
Yeah. That's what I'm planning to do. Is it?
Now, before you say that, Edris, I do want to make everybody aware there is a chase mechanic in the game. Chases are handled as kind of a form of combat, but not really. Essentially, you start at a certain range category, and then you make opposed agility rolls. And at a certain point, they're going to get away from you. Now, you're in an enclosed space, but it's a quite large enclosed space, so if they know the way out, they're going to be able to get out before you. But before Edris decides to go after the tools, you should bear in mind that chases are agility-based. Agility for speed, not strength for speed.
What a swap then. What's your agility?
Oh, that's fine. If you want to go after him right there,
Well,
I just don't.
Yeah, we'll swap.
I mean, I think you can both run after him. Like, the tools will still be there, or you could shout at. Well, not shout. I mean, he's right next to you.
Tell one
but
of
you
us
could
to go for the tools.
tell Ozil
You could
to grab the tools.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what we'll say. The tools.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll chase after them.
Okay, so I'll chase the tools.
Okay, so in that case, I need the two of you to make agility tests for the first round of the chase, and I will have him make an agility test. If I can find him. Oh yeah, we'll just use this guy.
Oh, no, that's not. Nope, no, it's not me. Nope, I will push that.
Hey. Oh no, that wasn't a 6. Shit, I thought it was. Unlucky me.
Okay, so Edris got 2 successes. Rico got 0. And your opponent also got 0. So Edris is able to close the distance. Rico, you stay at the same distance. I'll say that you guys started at short, right? So
yeah.
As you are barreling down parallel to this guy, Edris, you actually, and you might lose sight of him, because at a certain point, the shelves are going to have stuff on them again. So you're actually able to push past him and get to a crosscut before he does. Okay. Rico, you're basically paralleling him as he's running that short distance. So Edris, you see him coming your way, and as soon as he sees you, he stops. And he's like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Now, Ozil, you go over to the other aisle. You can just climb through the shelves. You don't have to go to a crosscut because the shelves are empty. The tools that he had are pretty basic, standard, like heavy tools. And he was basically using them to weaken the shelf to get it to fall over.
Talking like a hammer and an axe.
Saw, things like that. Yeah.
Crowbar.
So, I mean, you can grab the heavy tools if you want as an item.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you can just leave them.
Are they a bag of tools that I can just grab with one movement?
Yeah, I mean, you could just grab.
I'll grab the bag.
Just grab it and pull the item heavy tools from the items.
Yep. Get your fingerprints on them.
What does this guy look like? How's he dressed?
So where do I find them in the journal?
Dear.
Yeah, they're in the equipment section.
General equipment?
I believe so, or maybe mining.
There's digging.
I know, David. He's not thinking about it.
I'm not thinking.
Yeah,
about
I noticed.
It's
his inquisitive nature. I mean, he's not a true archivist.
Tools, heavy tools. Found it.
So, as far as how he looks, like a guy. I mean, he's pretty modestly dressed. He looks like he might be a workman of some kind.
He doesn't belong in the archive as a.
Oh no, he's not an archivist. No. This is just a guy.
I want to basically. We're gonna have to. Sorry, Oliver, go on.
I've just went over encumbrance by 0.5. In what ways will that affect me?
That means you're going to be at. You're exhausted. Right, so click the exhausted condition on your character sheet, which should be next to strength, I believe.
Yep.
And so anything... Oh, actually not exhausted, or not just exhausted, I should say. When you're over encumbered, I believe you are exhausted and... what's the agility one? Dazed. So basically any...
I can take it off you.
Yeah, and those go away as soon as you're not encumbered anymore. Like, you don't have to take a short rest or anything.
Yeah, there's a few things that I might not have brought with me, but I've not done it in advance, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine. Just check exhausted and dazed, and when you're not carrying it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun to be over encumbered.
I'm only just over as well.
Yeah, well, that's why you have limits.
Yep.
So the guy just looks like a common person, right? He doesn't seem to be an archivist. He's not wearing any kind of guild icons to show any kind of affiliation.
Welfare fraud, don't you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him, who are you and who sent you?
I'm nobody. I'm nobody.
Don't try. Don't even try to deny it. You ran, the shelves was tipped, and you're just now starting this because you got caught. Who sent you and who are you?
Look, somebody paid me to come in here and do this to anybody who came looking.
Well, who paid you? You must know.
He didn't give me a name. He's a tall man, a golden mask. He was clearly Coriolis.
See if this is Oliver to Dave because I'm not with you, but see if he talks any better with a couple of missing teeth, Dave.
I can help with that.
The man just tried to kill us. Don't feel bad about.
I'm going to say
knocking some
to
teeth
yeah,
out.
I'm going to say is Rico.
Oh, actually, let me hang on. Let me revise. He doesn't say he was told to do it to anyone who came along. He said he was just told to collapse that section.
Oh, so it could be a coincidence that we were just there at this particular time.
There's no such thing as coincidences.
So you listen. I've got my friend here who's not as talkative as I am, but he does like to communicate in other ways.
Rico has probably shown up by now.
Yeah.
Turn him loose.
I told you, it's just some guy on the street gave me money, asked me to come inside to this section, collapse the shelves.
How did you get in? It took us ages to get into the archive.
I made an appointment.
But there were no appointments today.
I made an appointment this morning.
Who with?
With one of the archivists.
Rico, I'm getting bored.
Well, no, Rico comes up there's that. Yeah, he comes there cracking knuckles.
Lon, I'm in the book.
So give me your name. You haven't given me your name.
Now that I'm thinking about it, probably isn't smart if I came in here to do this. Let's pay a significant amount of money.
Yeah, so he's including money. He puts up there. He looks at the guy on his shoulder and it's like, "How much rook do you have on you, anyways?"
On me?
Start a fight with us and we rob you. That's how we go. That's how we roll.
Yeah. So it's like, I was like, I'll take it. I was like, you wasting my time, and so I need a compensation for almost dying. So
look, I didn't even know you were there.
What is your name? You said you signed in the book. What? You haven't given me your name yet. What's your name?
Address.
Pardon?
Address. Adris.
Very close to home. Okay.
Right. That's his name.
Quick question: was that sound of creaking and crashing and collapsing audible throughout the archive?
So they're about a 5-minute walk into the back of the old section of the archive. So, I mean, you might have heard something.
Not necessarily
off,
us, but it's the people who are the other archivists.
Yeah, it depends on if there's other archivists in there. So far, nobody else has shown up.
It's high ceilings and long corridors, so the sound will carry in here.
If they turn up,
it'll carry. But
I thought there was an enforcer.
Yeah. There is a Zapti by the entrance. Not back in the old section.
I look at Idris. It's like, you know what? I think. Hey, do you think there's a reward if somebody messing with this stuff and we turn this guy in and get some rook for it?
Well, we're getting the information out of him before that happens, but he's not.
I told you, some Coriolite, golden mask.
Well, you can explain that to the Zapti that's in the reception or in the entrance area.
Well, I think can you describe the mask? Because I know with knowing
they're all unique, aren't they?
Yeah. So if there's like a distinguished feature of the mask.
Here's the thing, and I'm not just trying to be cagey here. They are all unique, but they're unique in ways that most people don't really pay attention to.
It's very subtle unless you're a Coriolite, probably. Eh?
It's a golden mask.
Yeah.
But I will remind you. Yeah. I will remind you, because I now recall that we did not mention this during our beginning of the session summary.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when you guys came out of the lift last session, you saw a Coriolite in a golden mask watching you.
And that name that this guy's mentioned, Doolan, I think he said, was signed in accessing the same
No,
lot.
he's one of the archivists.
No, that's the archivist that let him in.
Oh, right, okay. Oh no, sorry, yeah, it was Gar.
Yeah, he's the guy who brought you back. So, you asked him who he made the appointment with. He tried to remember.
That's who let him in.
Does he know the name of the person that hired him? Like, did they give him a name or anything, or they
no?
Just...
Well, if he does, he's lying. He either doesn't know it or he's lying.
If you think he's lying, you can make an intuition test.
Or just punch him in the teeth.
That's not going to help with the lying.
No.
I don't know, if I was lying to somebody and they continually punched me in the mouth until I stopped lying, I would stop lying. Because I don't like being punched in the mouth.
The problem is you can't speak. You're beating blood in mouth and.
So there's that, and there's also the problem of oftentimes people who are tortured will just tell you whatever you want to hear.
True, that's
I've got a particular talent that could help us here. So I've got the actor skill.
Yep.
Which you get a base die per talent level when rolling to bluff, or when I want to lie to an NPC. So if I want to bluff this guy and say something like, "Look, I already know who hired you. I already know, so you might as well give me the name." I'm going to try and bluff that I already know to see if he's lying.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Dave.
Okay, go on, make the roll.
Nice.
So is that an insight check?
Insight,
it's still going to be insight,
and
but yes, you can use your talent with that.
So that's
if the talent lets you use it with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any way I could scare him to give kind of a bonus to David?
He got 2 successes. I would have allowed that. I would have allowed the bonus die for the help, but he got 2 successes, and that's enough.
Okay, that's fine.
So next time, definitely.
You feel like he believes you, but you also recognize that he is telling the truth.
Okay, so
he doesn't know. A man in a golden mask paid him. He does say now an exorbitant amount of money. To come in for an act that is essentially pretty serious, coming into an archive.
Vandalism and attempted
causing
murder.
A collapse.
It's vandalism and attempted murder. First of all,
Rico, I'm turning this guy in.
Rico, punch him anyway. Give him a good punch anyway. People need to know that they don't fuck with us. Give him a punch in the mouth, mate.
No, I'm just gonna kick him in the. I'm
gonna
kick him in the shin and break his leg.
Jeez.
That's a bit harsh, Max.
Okay, I thought
break his leg.
Yeah, it's like, it pissed me off. It's like, I'm not gonna punch him. I'm just gonna.
The thing is, he tried to kill us.
If we think about this logic, well, with some logic, if I can, if we turn this guy over to the Zapti explaining what he's just done, that puts this guy in the shit. It also causes problems for whoever hired him, because we could say he's just told us this mad story. We would just happen to be there looking at someone's porn that we wanted to go and look at.
Yeah. Do you want to drag him back to the Zapti and turn him in?
I am. I'm grabbing him.
Crack if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I grab him by a headlock and I was like, "We're going to the Zapti."
No, don't grab him by a headlock. Grab him by the police armbar where you push the arm up the back.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's the killer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the hard one.
So you grab him and get him in that hold and lead him back to the Zapti, and he's essentially defeated, right? Like he's not even really resisting you. He's crying out in pain when you hurt him, but
it doesn't bother me.
Sure, but he's not resisting you, and before you even get back to the entrance, there you see a Zapti and one of the archivists, not either of the ones that you've met, coming down the lane, running like towards the sound. Like, what's going on? What have you heard? Or what happened?
Look at Idris and nods to him.
Yeah, I'll just explain that whilst my colleagues and I were looking at a lot that we were pleasantly and politely shown to by one of your colleagues, we heard this cracking sound and the shelf just suddenly shifted. Loads of the crates started to fall on us, and we noticed this gentleman here
and this bag of tools.
So
this bag of tools that my colleague is holding.
The archivist's eyes go wide, and he's like, "Oh no, that's going to take months to sort through."
Well, I look at him. You can blame this guy right here.
Yep. Luckily, this guy could compensate some way, I'm sure, because
with some unpaid labour.
apparently he was
Some
paid
community
very well for
service.
this act.
So the Zapti takes control and places him essentially under arrest. I mean, Zapti don't arrest people in that way necessarily. They hold you, they detain you, and then they decide what to do with you. And sometimes that's not very pleasant. But there's no like booking procedure. There's no rights. It's just the Zapti takes control of him.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls out a set of what looks to be heirloom technology cuffs that he places on his wrists.
You mentioned earlier, Brian, that one of the main punishments for being a bad guy in Ship City is just getting kicked out into the atmosphere. So I guess that's just what they do with serious criminals. And there's
Blight.
And there's
that's if you bring blight into the city.
That's if you bring blight in, right? Okay. So does that mean that there is still a prison in the city? There is a prison. There's somewhere where bad guys go.
Interesting that you asked that. You would have all heard tell of a prison. It's not in the city, though.
Oh, it's probably off the like another asteroid or something.
Other side of the asteroid or on another asteroid.
No one is sure, but people are fairly certain it's down a seldom used and abandoned slipstream.
Ooh.
And people are just essentially taken there and left there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we saw that when you showed us the map.
Yeah,
I remember you showing us on the map.
I don't. I'm good. I'm a good guy, mostly.
I probably know that rumor coming from the mining colony.
Well, again, not so much a rumor, just everybody talks about it, and people are aware of it. Nobody's really sure where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody comes back.
Only
comes back for there. Yeah, once you're there, you're there.
Yeah. Once you get taken to the prison, you don't come back. Like, you don't know of anyone who's ever said, "Oh yeah, I served time there." It's not that kind of prison.
Yeah. No. So I guess for
Escape from New York.
I guess for smaller crimes, there's a different punishment then.
Probably indentured labour, that sort of thing.
Yeah, unpaid labour.
Indentured labour, fines.
Yeah, that's
fines are very common. Rationing for periods of time as a form of, punishment.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people are jailed on Ship City. Like the Zapti do have
like
jail
a police
facilities
station with a jail kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah.
And then there's the airlock.
And then there's the airlock. The airlock is not used often, but when it is used, it is announced publicly.
Oh.
And everyone...
So it's like a public hanging when they do it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And everybody knows who's being ejected and why.
Aye. So it'll be in the morning
paper,
or in the morning ticker report or whatever. Executions.
Yeah, through several. So I mean, there is kind of a broadcast system of sorts, particularly in the chasm, but it's not used often. But yeah, through tickers as well, and just word of mouth. Everybody is made sure to know.
I think probably like a time crier. Basically, they have a little message they read out, like
in some ways.
What I picture is, I'm just thinking of Twitter, right? And then I'm thinking it's like the Ship City Council has a Twitter account, and they post in the morning what the events of that
basically
day are.
Or they send the message to all users. Yeah.
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 Yeah, so it comes up on the whole feed of your ticker, even if you don't follow them, kind of thing. Like if Elon Musk tweets, you don't follow him, but it still comes up.
Right.
Frick. Did I say that out loud? Oh dear. Hope he's not watching.
So, yeah, he takes him over and says he's going to be taking him to the local precinct for processing, he says. And asked the archivist if they would send a representative after a few hours or possibly tomorrow to see what they can do to gain recompense
and I assume
the
that
damages.
the Zapti will take the tools as evidence, right?
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. Oh, okay.
Why do you need evidence?
He's like,
just told him what he
yeah.
did.
Yeah. Okay.
You just told him, and they're in complete control.
Okay.
To think that they do
Idris,
investigations like our modern day police is interesting.
how's your
Think
inventory, Idris?
1984.
What's the weight of them tools?
2.
Oh yeah,
I think it's 2.
yeah. Throw them over.
Okay. I don't know if I can drag them from my sheet to yours, but if you go to the, it's in the. What's
I think you could do sheet to sheet drags, but I think Edris has to do it. But you can't both see each other's sheets, can you?
Yeah, that's
It's
the thing.
it's in the
You're an
bottom
observer.
section on the equipment.
Well, tell you what, I got it. I'll take care of it.
There you go.
I
Thank
can
you.
see both of your sheets.
I think I can actually see other people's sheets.
Oh, you
because
know what
of
I
the
should do? I
streamer.
should set up like a trading post actor where you guys
so we
can
could
just trade
drag
things
things
into
onto
it
that
and
sheet
out.
and drag things off it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a
I
good
mean,
idea.
technically, you can do that with the rhino or the grasshopper,
We're
but
supposed to
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can put
yeah,
it in there
yeah.
and just take it up that way.
There you go. We can just do that in future.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll delete those from my sheet then.
Oh, I haven't moved it though. Did he
Oh, you
get
didn't
it?
move it yet? No, right. I'll wait. Sorry, I thought you had done it.
Okay, so, what now?
Well,
if you,
I'm still looking through the card indexes and looking for information.
If you, there we go. I'm going to now. So I can take off the exhausted and dazed now, can't I?
Yes.
As soon as I'm unencumbered, it's gone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm probably going to have to make an empathy roll not to get too deeply into these cards.
What time of day
Okay.
is it?
Fascinating
If you
stuff here.
if you think so.
Time of day is
But
it?
yeah, I mean, you do find the card for the 122Y. It is basically a shorthand that contains a significant amount of information about the manifest. But what you notice is that the entry for 122Y is actually 10 cards.
Fair enough. And do we have all 10 cards?
Wi-
Or are some missing?
Oh no, well, you wouldn't be able to tell. If someone pulled out a card,
Well, it depends. If it's 122Y/1, 122Y.
oh yeah, that's true. It would be
Then,
marked. You're
yeah,
right.
if
So
three
no,
was
all of the
missing,
cards
we
are
would know.
there.
Unless it was the
Very
last
good.
one in the sequence. If it was the last one in the sequence, we wouldn't know it was
Right.
missing.
It's gone, but yeah. Hey,
But no, there are 10 cards, and all 10 are accounted for,
Okay.
as it seems.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
What
Ryan?
information is it?
So at this point, yeah, I'm not going to say it's been a full shift yet. So it's still midday,
Okay.
afternoon.
So, as far as information is concerned, I'm specifically looking for information as to where it came from, who donated it, all that
Correct.
sort of thing. The stuff that's in the boxes, if we just note what's there and then we can compare notes, but it's the background information we're interested in.
Right. So you see an indication of items from dig site 12. It gives you a rough. It gives you a date, but I'm not gonna say that date at this moment because I don't want to make a mistake personally.
Fair enough.
I might produce those cards at a later date and have them available in your journal as if you had copied them. But
You know,
it gives you a date. And
Does it give the name of the person who contributed them?
It does give the name of the person, but what stands out to you, and I'll include that as well, but what stands out to you is that the date actually predates the Explorers Guild, and it predates the establishment of Ship City.
Whoa! So it's
And it-
pre Great Dark.
Pre the Great Dark, pre this
Well-
era, yeah.
No, it's still this era. It's still the Great Dark, but
The
there were a
start,
few years where they hadn't.
So it's the start.
Settled
of this
down
era.
yet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beginning.
Mhm.
And the third and final thing that stands out to you in the documentation is that it lists the location of dig site 12 as
Which is what I'm going to look up.
it lists the location as an asteroid that is roughly 15 kilometers long, 1.5 kilometers tall at its highest point, and it's orbiting the planet Jamua.
Right, so it's local.
Mm-hmm.
So again, 15 kilometers long, 1.5 kilometers tall. It is this asteroid.
Oh, we're on it.
Ship
Right.
City.
Yeah.
But in Ship City.
Aye, Ship City before the city was here.
Before it was Ship City, yeah.
Okay, is there a... Okay, well, I will jot those down and then
So
try to see if there's any references to Dig Site 12 as a separate item.
So does that mean that Dig Site 12, which is here, does that mean that the items that are missing from this lot are artifacts from this asteroid when we first settled here before Ship City was established? Yeah.
That's the implication.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The question is, where on this asteroid?
So as you spend more time going through, again, these are just catalogs, so it's not super detailed.
But if I can find any references to Dig Site 12 elsewhere in the archive, we could then potentially go and look at other relics, and there might be maps, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go ahead and give you this to expedite things a little bit. There is a note on one of the cards that indicates that a map, exact location unavailable, or unrecorded.
Unless it was on a particular piece of stone which has been stolen, perchance.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what's on the missing tablet, is the location of Dig Site 12.
Well, we do have a partial note. So we have a partial copy of that.
You have a partial copy of the stone. There is also in the discussions, the manifest, as you're not the manifest, but the cards, as you're looking for information, there's a brief reference or just a one-line reference, right? Because this is all shorthand, to something called the Ramda obelisk.
The Ramda obelisk.
Yeah, Ramda.
I don't seem to be able to add anything to the crew journal at the moment. Do I need to refresh or something? I've added some bits, but I can't seem to type anything in it at the moment.
You're trying to type it in the crew notes section?
Crew journal.
Yeah. Let
me a little edit page one.
Make sure. It has all players listed as owner.
Well, I know I've typed stuff in it. Well, I've got crew journal open at the moment.
I've got it open.
Just close it.
Have you got that edit page button?
You need to click the edit page button in the upper right-hand corner, and that'll open a dialog for you to type more stuff into it.
So it doesn't say edit page for me, it says copy document UUID.
No, that's at the top of the bar, in the main window of the text.
Yes, when I click on the edit page, nothing happens, it goes red.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting, because I just opened up the text editing box.
Yeah.
So if somebody has the text editing box open, somebody else might not be able to come.
I still can't find this text editing box that you're talking about, to be honest.
So if you look in your crew journal and you go down to the very bottom, currently it's number 16, crew notes.
Oh, crew notes. Right, aye, there it is.
If you guys want, I can move that to the top so it's easier to find.
I am able to edit that. Because I just edited my name.
Well, in that case, would you mind adding in the bits and pieces we've just heard?
Yeah, so what am I going to write
Why
then?
can you not do it? That's so weird.
Whatever.
Tell you what to do. If somebody just types it into
You're
the
a
chat
player.
here, I'll copy paste it.
Thank you.
Type it in there and I can copy paste it.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out what's going on. If everybody else can access it but not you, there's something specific.
You want me to refresh?
I just don't know what.
If I
You might
refresh
want to
the
try that.
page-
You might want to try that.
Be out of sync.
Could just be.
Yeah.
I will refresh my page. Then I'll probably have to log in again, so apologies for the delay.
No problem.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you guys are writing tons of notes in there.
I put a few notes in there.
That's good. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Mir is MIR, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
MIR, lowercase m.
Now it's come
MIR.
up. Good.
I see it. I
Fine.
can see it. I can
So
see it.
close
Yeah,
that.
I saw a symbol that shows that you're active in it.
Yep.
Do you want to
Okay,
just
cool.
do it then, Dave? Yeah.
I've No, I've just
So do you
dropped
want me to
out.
go through that again?
Well, who's
You
going
got
to
all
add it to the
info
notes?
You need? Oh, you can't
Do you want
do
me
it
to add
again?
it? Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I don't. All right, so somebody's adding it. We'll continue on. So, you got some information. Probably by the time you finish finding all that information, I don't know what's everybody else doing. I mean, Garita was there with you.
Yeah.
So are we on our own now as the Zapti?
Yeah, they just.
So the
just popped it
Zapti-
off, didn't they?
On
The Zapti took the guy, Adris, not Idris, Adris. I'm telling you, that's his name in the document. I don't know what to say. And
What was the name of the
I
obelisk?
make up some of the names, but that was his name. What was
the
that?
name of the obelisk? What was the name of the obelisk?
The Ram.
Ramda, Ramda.
So I think, are we all going to go meet Garida and Osric?
Oh yeah, we'll
You
definitely.
can.
We'll
They
definitely
would
all
still,
go together.
as far as you know, they're still back out. You know, either in the reception area or the scriptorium.
Should we just
So I also wanted to note for you that yes, while the Zapti took address, the archivist headed past you back towards those
to
shelves.
check it out? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to be there, do we?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know why.
I mean, it's an active crime scene now. We kind of want to get out of here, I think.
We've got what we need, I think, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, well, once we've got what we can from the cards, I suggest we head back and to the entrance chamber and wait for the others to surface from the archive.
Okay.
So yeah, before long, you all meet up back out in the reception area. There are now a few archivists out there that are kind of in an agitated state. You don't see either of the ones that you interacted with before. Maybe they're dealing with things elsewhere. But you are welcome to head out and get on with your lives, whatever you're going to do. Do we have a plan?
What happened? You all seem to be covered in dust.
It's a story.
I didn't realise it was that bad.
They caught the person that did it anyway. It was an act of vandalism, and we got caught in the crossfire of it. And
Oh dear.
Zapti sorted it out, so we're all good.
We're not going to withhold
wonderful.
information from Osric and Garrido. We're going to
No,
tell
but
you
I
that.
don't want to openly share it.
Don't. Yeah.
Oh,
good
amongst-
point,
yeah,
There's-
gotcha.
there's still ears around. Good point, Dave. Good point.
So do you give Osric and Garita the? We'll talk about it. Wink, wink
we'll-
later.
Tell you more. Let's go. And
Oh, jolly good. Before I go, there's one thing I wanted to check, which is, does this place have the records of the breeding lines of the Garuda?
Actually, it does. Would it?
Is there like a bird guild?
So there's the bird market,
Somebody there.
where
Yeah, but
all
that's
the
just
experts
where they're
on.
bought and sold.
No, that's where the experts on birds are as well. So
Yes.
the bird. I'm gonna say that the archive actually wouldn't have a lot of information on birds, because the archive is focused on human culture, human activity.
I pictured at the bird market, you've got bird sellers, bird breeders, bird trainers, and bird experts.
Yeah.
All sorts.
Well, I wouldn't
Bird
say
people.
breeders, discoverers.
Not
Discoverers.
breeders,
Yeah.
English.
But yeah,
They don't. They do breed though, don't they? Because it's a bloodline.
nobody knows.
Oh, so we don't know how they're born.
Literally nobody knows.
Oh, okay.
They're found.
Yeah. Okay. They're found, but there's individual bloodlines.
A lot are found in specific places. Generally, a breed of Garuda are birds that have all been found in the same place.
Like you would find African elephants in Africa and Indian elephants in India.
Very good. Okay. If there's no information here, then I believe we have various things to be getting on with. So yes.
How can a person recover hope without resting, without like sleeping?
You don't. So hope is recovered along with anything else. Or no, hope is recovered through rest.
But is it hope you can recover
health
through like...
and heart. Well, health and heart are recovered just automatically every shift. But hope you actually have to rest for.
Yeah, now, but isn't there things you can do like indulging and stuff like that to help with your hope?
Oh, sure. There are some items you can use if you're interested in that. In fact, some of them might even be sold in the tea house just across the street. You are in the haze.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy gruel. Gruel heals one hope, but it does make you daze.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't fancy the sound of that. I was thinking, is there any like nice, pleasant narcotics or something I could take?
Well, they're all going to have a penalty.
I believe that's gruel, actually.
And gruel is it. Gruel is not like soup that we normally think of. Gruel. It's a narcotic.
Oh right, okay. I was thinking of soup, like prison food, gruel.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I think alcohol also.
Yes, shroom brandy apparently is quite good for hope.
But again, it's still going to hit you with a penalty.
Only if you overindulge.
But you have to overindulge.
Oh, is that true?
In order to help the hope, don't you?
Yeah, more than one glass.
I don't think so.
Yes, more than one glass.
No, I mean, I don't think you have to overindulge to get the hope back.
So you can
is what I was saying.
A glass heals 1
You
point
just
of hope.
drink one
Additional
glass.
glasses after the first make you confused.
Okay, so I will, if we're going back to the tea room, I'm going to order an alcoholic beverage to try and steady my nerves.
You want to go take a shot?
Yeah, steady my nerves / get a hope back.
Is that what we're
Sure.
doing? Are we going to share this?
You can go across to the tea house and essentially take a stretch rest if you like.
I think we should take a stretch rest and do what we need to do. I don't think we should tell Osric and Garida the full details of what happened until we get back to our ship and we have real privacy, I think. I mean, about it being a murder attempt.
So there are privacy booths in this tea house.
Yeah, but we are being watched by someone and we know about that now. And people that are
Let
watching
me
will have
perhaps be
spies
clear.
all over the place.
Because you're in the haze, there are privacy booths in this tea house.
Right. All right. Privacy booths. Yeah. I'm following.
They are protected.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
It's like
They are-
the sheep.
No, it's not just a sheet. They are protected from surveillance.
So they have like soundproofed walls and stuff.
Soundproofing, transmission spoofing. If you want to nip into one of those, there's a fee.
I think it'd be worth it.
Yeah, because we're going to a tea shop anyway because we want to.
But they're also spacious enough to allow you to rest.
Okay.
And you can order tea while you're doing so.
So let's have a tea.
Actually, tea will be included with the room.
Right. So let's go
So
get.
pay for the room, not for each person.
No, for everybody. Yeah, if you
we're gonna get some funny looks when
if you pay for the room, you get
into that room,
yeah.
Like...
We've got ladies with us.
You guys went completely the wrong direction with private. Sorry, they went completely the wrong direction with private.
They're
I don't know why everything is turning into porn today, but
for people to have a private conversation without earwigging and
I didn't start it.
and all that sort of thing.
Oh, someone else
First,
started
who
it.
wanted to look at 1, 2, 3, why that started it?
Alright, let's go to the tea house,
Now,
get some alcohol.
I'll be fair for our viewers. I did just make that up. Don't worry. When you read Flowers of Algorab, there's nothing about 1, 2, 3, why being ancient pornography.
That was just custom for this.
That's just our game. Yeah, that's just our game.
Cherry on the cake.
Why can't I find the equipment section? I'm flipping through my book. I'm like, and I'm not paying attention while I'm doing it, so I'm just randomly flipping back and forth.
Page 95 starts.
I got it now.
In that area.
107 services and food. Okay. So, are you guys going to go to the tea house and use one of the privacy rooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Discreet area.
So, the privacy room itself, to keep you honest, somebody's going to have to fork up. Are you going to use it for the whole shift? For the rest of the shift to do a shift rest?
Yeah, I think so.
Some rest as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be 50 ruck. But that includes drink service. And also food, if you would like some food.
I think each of us could pitch in 10 each.
Yep.
I mean, that's just...
Yep.
Yeah.
You could?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's fine.
do
I've got
that.
10 to spare.
Yeah, I got 10.
Okay, so...
Basic stuff first. Oliver, you can order some Kohol, either a rack or a shroom brandy, and that will heal 1 point of hope.
And how much will that cost me?
Additional shots after the first shift in a shift have no effect. Instead, they make you dazed and or confused.
So I just have...
Or dazed and confused, actually.
So I'm just having one. How much does that cost me?
Oh, it's included.
That's
with
included,
the room.
right? Okay, so I can just put my hope up one.
Perfect.
Yeah, anybody else who wants to have a shot of Kohol to get a point of hope back, you can do that as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yep.
Okay.
What's that stuff called?
Now, Kohol, Kohol.
K-O-H-O-L.
Bless you.
Like as in alcohol.
Alcohol.
Like
Correct.
tobacco.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tobacco and calf.
Exactly.
And, yeah, there's a
Yeah.
theme there. I like that.
Yeah, a little bit of a theme. So, recovering hope. I just want to make sure I didn't lie to you.
Maybe we should get a toot.
Oh, no. So you do also spontaneously heal D6 points of hope per shift of resting. Now, resting doesn't necessarily mean sleep. It just means resting.
Relaxing, doing nothing.
You guys didn't spend a whole lot of time in the archive, so I will count this as a resting period for all of you. So, since you are resting, everybody can roll a d6 to recover hope.
Okay.
Additional hope in addition to the Kohol. So if any of you are lower than -1.
Come on, that's how many I needed.
Nice.
Back to max.
Go. I'm off one.
That's
That's still fine.
exactly what I needed.
Nice.
I'm off one. I'm fine.
That's just one. You're good.
Okay, now as far as health and heart, because I think a couple of you are down heart.
Yeah, I'm full.
At least 1 point.
I'm down one.
Yeah. I'm down 1.
Let's see. So that's suffering. I want to restore. When not broken or suffering from another effect that blocks recovery, you spontaneously heal 1 point of heart per shift. So everybody automatically regains a point of heart, no roll. And the same is also true of health. You automatically regain a point of health because nothing is blocking your resting. So if anybody's down health and heart, you get 1 of each back.
Health is the
That's
physical,
perfect.
like hit points, and heart is blight, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So I think with you all resting here, that's probably a good place to end today.
Cool.
So we can start next session with your discussions that you have while you're resting. And then we'll move to the next shift. I'll go ahead and advance the clock now. So it would now be 6 o'clock by the time you end your next shift in the evening. And we'll decide where you go from there. Do keep in mind you need to sleep at least 1 shift per day. But there are still 2 more shifts. So
Okay.
let's do experience.
Sweet.
Not too far. I should put tabs in my book. That's what I should do.
Yeah, I've done that before, and eventually you just like you're still flipping through, not even looking at your tabs.
Yeah, that's true. Here, I'll just look it up on the rules here. Actually, what I should do is put it in a side thing. I've got a great module called GM Screen. It's actually really cool if nobody's ever seen it, if you use Foundry.
Yes, I've seen it. Well, I've seen the player side of it. Because you can set up a player screen.
Oh, can you? I'll
Yeah.
have to look into that. Maybe I can offer that to you guys. Okay, nope.
I think it's with when you're making your guy.
Yeah, it is, right? There it is. Improve your Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody participated. That's 1 point. Did you roleplay your quirk? Well, I know that Osric and Oziel did. Oh, Idris.
Idris also, because he was woohoo when the shit happened.
Yeah. Did Garita or Rico use your quirk?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Mine's a little bit hard, but
that's fine. So you 2 are still at 1. The other 3 are at 2. Did you explore an unknown location? Sure. The archive. I mean, technically, you kind of knew it, but also no. So that's 2 and 3. Did you investigate a mystery? I'm going to say yeah. You are currently in process of investigating mysteries. So that's 3, 4. Did you instigate or partake in intrigue? I don't think so, unless anybody wants to argue with me.
No, I say not yet. Not yet with the situation.
Mystery, yes.
Did you help another explorer? There was some helping. I know Osric and Rico helped.
Was the boost up?
Oh yeah, we boosted up. I lifted somebody
And there
up.
was in the archive. Did you help? Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're at 4,
Rico
5.
helped you intimidate that guy into telling the truth.
Yeah.
We both helped you climb, so that's me on 5.
Well, you only get it once.
Yeah.
So 4, 5. Did you overcome a difficult challenge? The shelves weren't really difficult. You're still in the investigation phase, so no. Did you interact with your... What's that? Not a difficult challenge.
Nah, it wasn't difficult.
Not a difficult challenge. Did you interact with your... Because basically it was just a, hey, this thing is watching you, and you guys turned it into, I'm going to capture it. And I loved it, so we went with it.
Yeah.
Did you interact with your affiliated faction through your contact or background? Osric did. Osric is at 6 experience. Edris and Oziel are at 5. And Garita and Rico are at 4 experience for the session.
Excellent. I can afford 2 talents.
So can I. We just need to find someone.
I don't think we got any crew points, did we?
Let's take a look. I don't think so, but crew points generally come a lot more from delving and great ship voyages.
And there are a lot.
Did the crew take on a challenge together? Not really. Did you undertake? No. Did you find it? No. Did the crew give or get a promised favor? Not yet. Did the crew turn in an artifact? No. Did the crew gain aid from the bird in desperate circumstances? No. So yeah, no crew points.
Okay.
Now, since you are resting during this shift, if you want to spend some of your experience to improve a talent you already know, I will allow you to do that.
Okay.
But no learning new talents until you take actual... Because you guys are saying you're staying here and resting.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have to use a shift or a day to go out and find somebody to learn a new talent. So...
Yeah, and I believe it's like current talent times 5.
No, it's just 10.
Oh, okay.
Level 1 is 5, level 2 is 10, level 3 is 15.
Okay.
So level times
Okay.
5.
Nice, easy.
You were correct, Max. That is what you meant. It's the
Oh,
level,
okay.
it's
That
level
is that
times
is
5
true,
is
but
the
you
cost
don't
of
need
it.
to do the math. It's just 5, 10, 15.
You're
I was
making it
just
more
trying to make sure.
complicated than it needs to be, but you're correct, yes.
No, my bad.
That is correct, yes.
Kind
That
of like
is correct.
kind of like
That's
Star
fair.
Wars FFG. There's a formula like for that.
It sounds like the Genesis.
Exactly.
System.
Star Wars
That's
FFG.
how-
Oh, Genesis.
Yes.
In some ways, yeah.
Very
But that's the only thing you can spend experience points on in this game is talents.
Okay.
So, because the game is the talents.
Yeah, you
I'm
can't do
gonna,
your
I'm
stats
gonna
or
wait
anything,
till
can
next
you?
time, I think.
Yeah, I need
Given
that.
that I successfully got Ashes to de-blight the area, I think putting my bird handler up to 2 would probably be appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be ahead when you guys hit that first delve. It's still several sessions off, but
I've got
you
some
know,
ideas
I'll
of
be
what I'm
ready.
going to do for mine, but I'm going to have a look in between sessions.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take
I-
mine and actually get trains on stuff.
Well, I
I
can
know
leave
which one I
this
want,
open
but I
for a
gotta-
little bit
Cool.
after we go off
Cool.
I
off
know
stream.
what I'm
And
gonna go for next time, though.
So. Have we done then?
I did want to, since this is our third session, I did want to ask everybody because I said I would do this.
Oh, if you want to
This
make
is
any
the first
changes.
chance I'm going to give you. I might give you another chance a little bit further on. Does anybody want to change any of their primary statistics?
I'm
Or are
happy with
you
mine.
happy with where you're at right now?
No, I'm fine with mine.
Yeah,
I think
happy
I'm
with mine.
okay.
I like mine.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a typical scholar.
I'm a physically
Okay.
unfit.
Yeah, I'm certainly not
bookwormy-
saying you need to. I'm just asking because I said I would.
Yeah.
So,
No, I think I'm
No
good.
problem.
okay. Yeah, that's it for today then. We did our experience. We got our wrap up. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Okay, so I'm going to
Thank
wrap
you very
up.
much.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to wrap up our video on YouTube, but after do that, remember we're still live on Twitch, so don't disappear just yet, because we've got to go say bye to those folks as well. So
No, yeah.
let me wrap up the YouTube
Of course.
video. So, Max, Brian, Dave, and Dave, thank you very much for playing, gentlemen. A pleasure as always. And Brian, thank you for another fantastic session. To the viewers that are watching live on Twitch, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate you and we love you, especially you, Goofin. And to everybody watching on YouTube, thank you very much. We are RxOliver and the gang. Goodbye.